Let's get it. Súbele. Y eso es para la nueva generación.
Negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Oye, negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. Oye, negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Oye, negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. Buenas tardes a la playa y te vas. Buenas tardes a la playa y te vas. Un mulato ya te espera para bailar. Esta cumbia que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia que se ha hecho muy popular.
Hello, my children. How are we doing this fine morning, evening / afternoon? DJ Yugo coming to you straight from the warm, sunny Balkans. Get ready for a cozy one today, chat.
Y para los misteriosos de la cumbia.
You know the stream is going to be good when we start out with cartel music, eh?
Báilale sabroso, esos belicones de Nueva York. Y para que la gocen, Leslie y todos los escorpiones. Eso chingao.
Negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Oye, negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. Oye, negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Oye, negrita linda, vente, vamos a bailar. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia sabrosa que se ha hecho muy popular. De buenas tardes a la playa ya te vas. De buenas tardes a la playa ya te vas. Un mulato ya te espera para bailar. Esta cumbia que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta
Let's go, clone sister. Thank you very much for the sub.
Esta cumbia que se ha hecho muy popular. Esta cumbia que se ha hecho muy popular.
Haydi. Comrade Notes, thank you very much, beautiful.
Sa
What is up, chat? What is up, chat? How we doing? How we doing? Thank you very much, Comrade Notes and Clone Sister, for starting us out with 2 beautiful subscriptions. It's your boy Hugo. It is Monday, and I am back with you guys. I missed yesterday's stream because I had a surprise visit by a cousin. It was lovely. He literally slept on the bed behind me. I had to give him the office. That's why I couldn't stream. But it's not like we missed much. The big event came to us 2 to 3 days ago when the United States pretty much attacked Iran 1 hour, like 4 hours after our stream. It was pretty absurd. I was at a club. A rave, a proper rave, pretty alternative, but still a proper rave. I wouldn't call it techno, but it was decent. And, we're just doing shots. And a friend of mine is like, dude, tell me, am I high or did World War III just start? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he shows me his phone. He got a notification from whatever, news source he's using. And I'm looking at fucking U.S. has hit Iran. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. If I had ever had an excuse to get absolutely fucking shit-faced, that was it, okay? There's a tiny percentage chance that those are going to be like the last 30 minutes of my life. So let's order 100 fucking Jaegers because YOLO. The rave when World War III starts, it can't get more Eastern European than that. Right? We fucking go hard all the time. Listen, if I ever build a bunker, it's going to have, half of the bunker is going to be to store food and make food. The other half is just going to be a bar, okay? Half of my caloric intake is going to be beer, vodka, whiskey, and rakia. Ayran. I love Ayran. Anyways, today's episode, I'm going to try and focus on consent manufacturing as much as possible. Pretty much wrap it around that tree, if you know what I mean. But we'll still update each other on the current events. We'll watch a second thought video. I also saw an interesting video talking about how China could potentially seize this situation in Iran. I thought it was relatively decently written, and so on and so on. But I thought you Albanians said shitloads of bunkers. Yeah, learn a new joke, Gabriel. Okay, learn a new joke, and the joke doesn't work because their bunkers suck. Okay, so the Posadas is right. Now let's start out with a video by a person called R.M. Brown. Nuttiest media war selling. This was added to my playlist by one of the mods, and I trust my mods, so it's probably going to be good. I hope it talks about consent manufacturing in particular, a topic near and dear to my good old heart. Let's go. Before we start, let me just see why this is not working. Are you working?
Wonderful. A new child soldier, subscriber.
Can you guys hear that? Oh, yeah, it's working. Okay, it's working. Thank you, Joni Soda, for the 17 months. Hey, Hugo, going to change my name to Yahya Al-Suvda. Change it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Am I supposed to know what it means? Yahya Al-Suvda. Is it like a joke in Persian or Arabic? In Serbia's Vučić announces he is no longer selling military equipment to Israel or any other countries. Really? Good for the protesters, man. Vučić weapons to Israel. Seriously? Holy shit. Oh my God. Look at my president. He's doing a rational thing. Incredible stuff. Chatter wasn't lying. Holy shit. First fucking rational thing my guy has done in years. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić declared on June 23rd that Serbia is no longer exporting weapons. Asked by reporters whether Serbia has chosen sides in the Israel-Iran conflict through the export of ammunition to Israel, Vučić said that the state has suspended all exports and that it is only sending ammunition to the Serbian army barracks. We are not exporting anything now. We have stopped everything, and if something is to be allowed, special and specific decisions must be made. Then we will see how we will act in accordance with the interests of Serbia. The highest state bodies will be informed about this decision. Bravo. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Serbian small arms and certain missile and mine systems are very, very good. And minimizing how many of those are in the hands of the Israelis is always good. So, yeah, I guess. Johnny Soda in Arabic. Johnny the Soda. Ah, okay. Okay. Mortar rounds, yeah. Doing it to have it for the nation itself, which is what every military industrial complex should limit itself to. Obviously, in the best case scenario, you wouldn't need one, but we don't live in La La Land.
Hey! Hey, goddammit! Hi! Hey, welcome to the Daily Show. I'm your host, my
Russian SVR stated that Serbia was selling ammunition to Ukraine via NATO middlemen. Of course, dude. So much money to be made in that shit. There's no fucking ideology when you're selling guns.
name's R.M. Brown. My last name's Brown. Other kids used to make fun of that when I was a kid. I don't know why. Oh, right, because of... Right. Hey, speaking of which, I got a message for the haters. Do we have a graphic for that? We don't.
A message to the goddamn haters. Here
Holy shit, chat. Is this us, chat? Is this us? Oh my god.
we go, here it
What's he gonna say? Oh my god, chat, I'm scared.
is a 1, 2, 3, let's go.
You listen to me, you haters. You listen to me. Let me take that again, please.
You listen to me, you haters.
This is what I have to say to you guys, man. Keep doing it. Whoa. I use it for fuel to be better, to do... It only makes me better, man. Okay, having said that, I am bringing a class action lawsuit against you for emotional damages.
So Zoran has gone from down 24 to down 10 in Marist. Okay. Most polls show similar movement. He's moving towards Cuomo, no doubt. It's getting very close. I, myself, other people, my mom have gotten many anti-Zoran mailers. There's been mail coming in. TV, it's a constant. There's a Cuomo super PAC that's probably going to have more than $20 million when this race is over. That has been blanketing the airwaves nonstop now. Used to be pro-Cuomo ads, and now it's pivoted in the last few weeks to just purely anti-Zoran. So,
okay, what the hell is this?
Oh, because that's the entirety of that particular election. You can't pitch Cuomo in any way. Like, he's a fucking rapist, troglodyte old man that's barely, that has the mental capacity of half of a Biden. Because my guy did too much fucking cocainum, and the bad kind in the 80s. So you just gotta pitch. The Arab guy's anti-Semitic. Oh, the Arab guy is a communist anti-Semite, and that's how he wins. Classic American approach.
Oh, before we get into other crap, we got a person of the day. Wow. For today's person of the day, we're going to New York City.
New York City is nothing without pizza.
Right. Let's go to our New York City correspondent, LeBron James. LeBron James.
It's me, born and raised.
Every apolitical New Yorker is like anything but Cuomo, but I don't even know who is running. Yes, it is called El Privilege. El Privilege. And not just El Privilege, it is the world famous high-level New York skepticism, okay? Present in most New Yorkers. That is so nasty.
Raised New Yorker LeBron James here reporting.
Cynicism on fucking steroids. It is so cool to be cynical. It is so edgy to be cynical.
Live on the mayor. What is it? Mayoral race.
Because remember, Chad, if you care too much about a thing, that is very cringe, okay? You got to be cynical about everything, even things you believe in, okay? You need to be a communist, but only because you can tell other people just how better of a person you are than them, okay? That's most American communists, I would argue, but definitely most New York communists. So you got to use it as a tool, as a cudgel against others to remind them that you are an intellectual giant and they are simpletons. But you all then at the same time you got to turn around and point your gun at more proactive communists and call them utopian idiots who don't understand that the cause has already been lost and that they should shut the fuck up and go back to posting on Twitter. Okay, that is a New York communist right there.
Ace of New York, of the great, New York City.
Okay, right. LeDron James, you're from New York City.
Absolutely.
I was like 15 when I chose this username. It was 15 years ago. No, it's fine to be cynical.
Man, 100%. The big city filled with people and all this kind of crap.
Okay. What part of New York City are you from, LeDron?
What's that, man?
Yeah, you heard me. Go ahead.
Hartford.
Hartford, Connecticut?
Absolutely, man. Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's not in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it is, man. It's like 10 minutes away.
Okay, that's LeDron James there.
LeDron James signing out.
Okay, that was useless.
The difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo is that my campaign is not funded by the very billionaires who put Donald Trump in D.C.
Andrew Cuomo, yeah, pretty corrupt, scandal-ridden politician. And then Zoran Mamdani, a guy who's like, hey, buses should be free and the rent shouldn't be so expensive. How much can a mayor of New York actually do? I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about that. But, for most people, the guy...
As a New York communist, I can confirm you're 100% correct. Thank you, Broadway baby. I mean, thank you. Yes, I know. It's very unfortunate because, New Yorkers are unironically my favorite Americans. On average, I don't think I've met a single New Yorker I kind of didn't like. The criticism is just directed at the snobbery of cynicism, okay? Cynicism is the ability for one to both feel morally superior while not having to do anything. Because they've completely given themselves to destiny.
Who's saying the things that would probably help them the most is Zoran. So who knows what'll happen, but the media around this...
Your list from 1 to 50 of your favorite or two least favorite Americans when... That's not a bad idea.
This is very funny. Let's take a look. Okay, what the hell is this? Oh, it's the New York Times. Oh, I like that because they have games in there. Like the crossword. Actually, the crossword sucks. Don't even... You know what? I was going to say do the crossword and then throw it away, but just throw it away. Even the crossword sucks. Anyway, man. Oh! Our advice to voters in a vexing race for New York mayor. Ooh, I'm listening.
Vexing?
A mayoral race that's so vexing, it will...
Cut your meat.
What does that even mean? Okay, we could do a whole show making fun of the New York Times and, old media like the New York Times because I think they know the average age of their readers is passed away. Grave. So they're targeting older people. But if
the New York Times literally lives off of uncanceled subscriptions by old people that had large bank accounts but were hated by their children. So the children never inherited the money or stopped the subscription. So there's just a bank account and a debit card out there that just keeps getting recharged and recharged, but most debit cards unfortunately have a longevity 5 to 10 years, so the New York Times will go bankrupt in I think 2 to 3 years when most of these old people's bank accounts become void and can no longer by accident subscribe to the New York Times.
If you can find this article somewhere, which you can't because of this stupid piece of puke, the New York Times has paywalled everything. You just cannot read this stupid website. I had to go through all kind of garbage just to read this dumb thing.
It's pretty telling that when they say Mamdani is a danger to Jewish New Yorkers, that the pitch is to vote for sex pest shitbag Italian Catholic Andrew Cuomo and not vote for Jewish progressive Brad Lander. Of course, dude. No, of course. It is very dangerous for Jews when man is brown, don't you know? That is the correlation. That is the correlation. Every New Yorker, when they're born, they get circumcised and they donate that skin to Israel in a satanic ritual. So if there's a New Yorker that wasn't born in New York, they do not have that bond to Israel the way this lovely gentleman doesn't have it. Okay, so that's already problematic. You must do blood rituals to connect yourself to Tel Aviv. Otherwise, you're not really a New Yorker. Okay. Everybody knows that real New Yorkers' favorite city is not New York; it's Tel Aviv. Okay. By the way, you look like if Han Solo was a Serbian. I'll take that as a compliment. I like going pew pew on fascists.
Thing. It's probably one of the funniest things I've ever read around this kind of stuff, because it's like, hey, look, we're not endorsing anybody.
We're not endorsing anybody, man.
It really do be like this. It's like, oh, this guy, Andrew Cuomo, he's kind of a bad guy, man. Kind of a bad guy, man, but he did a great job, and this other guy's terrible. But we're not endorsing anybody, man. That's the New York Times. It's like, why write this? Are you tricking old people now? Is that what the New York Times is? Just tricking old people. Hey, look, man, we're not endorsing anybody. We are not in that kind of business, man. We ain't in the business of endorsing people. But this guy Zoran, man, he sucks. He's terrible. We'll all go straight to hell immediately if this guy gets elected. And the other guy's pretty good, but we're not. No. If you put those, like, They Live glasses on to read the New York Times, you know, with these, like, local stories, they would all say, like, hey, are you on Wall Street doing finance scams? No? Oh, go to hell. Go straight to hell then. Bye. Oh, hey. Wait. Sorry, before you go, there's a crossword in the back. Sorry, okay, I have to preface it. It's an annoying crossword. Weird, stupid, abstract hints and all this crap. Anyway, I gotta get the hell out of here. I gotta go to the bathroom. That's the whole article.
I am Donald Trump's worst nightmare as a progressive Muslim immigrant who actually fights.
Holy shit. He said it live on TV. He wants to kill Donald Trump. He wants to shoot him. He wants to commit a die on him. Okay. Donald Trump, you must bomb the second most important city for Iran after you bomb Tehran, and it's New York City. If this man becomes the mayor, okay, we will have Iran #2 in New York. They will nationalize all your towers, Trump, the way all communist Muslims do, and they will turn them into Dongfang missiles directed at the White House. It's a long-term ploy by the Ayatollah to install a vicious anti-Semite, American-hating, immigrant brown man in the center of the actual capital of America, New York City. New York City. This is the only way you can pronounce New York City, okay?
Wonderful, a new child soldier.
Okay, the only way. No, fuck off. Okay, this is the only way.
You really are the most devious bastard in New York City.
Well,
wonderful, a new child soldier.
New York City.
Being very careful.
Thank you very much, Sandrio and Ruski Bro. What's up, chat? What's up, guys?
Not to stand out.
Good evening. Go back to your own country. What the fuck did you just say?
Now listen, I don't know about you, but I'm very much in the mood for some sexual intercourse.
Simon's HQ is this fantastic nightclub called the Sassy Cat Club in Manhattan.
What the fuck have you got in your hand? Put that down. That's a wooden stake, you dickhead. Look at the pictures on the glass. It's the Jeepers man.
Told you so.
You fucking didn't.
Have you gone soft, my sweet syrup pie?
No, my sweet syrup pie. I've gone hard. Because he's my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy. My rotten soldier. He's my sweet cheese. My good time boy. Sorry for not taking you seriously, my darling. Nando! There's a fucking ghost on the front lawn.
What? Not you two.
I couldn't believe it myself, but what my own eyes have seen,
What's going on?
It's Gizmo. He's been causing havoc in the household.
Laszlo sucks.
Household.
Backwards.
Laszlo doesn't suck, and if he did, he certainly wouldn't do it backwards. Some chap's left his calling card. A Timothy. at Circuit City Stores. Happy to help, he says. Whoa! What? Clarion Call is...
Oh, is this what everyone was talking about?
New York City is nothing without pizza.
Oh my God, he got 3 packages. Is New York even a real place? I mean, I've been there like 3-4 times and I'm still not sure if it's a real place. But I agree, New York is nothing without pizza. And pizza is nothing without New York, you know? What, it's a Russian lady talking about the elections in New York? Tell your babushka and dedushka don't rank Cuomo. Yeah, because there's a lot of Eastern Europeans there.
Скоро пройдут выборы мэра Нью-Йорка.
Досрочное голосование начинается 14 июня, а день выборов 24 июня.
Вы можете выбрать до 5 кандидатов по порядку. Это называется рейтинговое голосование.
Wow, they're doing it get prop. Don't let Cuomo see this video. He's gonna be like, holy shit, the Russians are invading.
Но не ставьте Эндрю Cuomo ни на какое место в бюллетене.
Эндрю Cuomo принесет нам 4 года хаоса и коррупции.
Когда он был губернатором, он сократил финансирование Медикейда.
That's a second generation. Oh my God, I'm a South Slav, I'm not an Eastern Slav, but even I can get if somebody's second generation and first based on how they talk.
В Нью-Йорке неподъемное для обычных людей.
Он заставил дома престарелых принимать пациентов с ковидом и скрыл количество умерших.
Из-за его скандалов и преступлений.
Is the woke Russians? They are depositing the greatest and most the strongest soldiers of the Russian army are woke Russians. They get deployed in New York to sabotage the election.
Пришлось уйти в отставку с поста губернатора.
Не ставьте Cuomo ни на какое место в бюллетене.
Нью-Йорку нужен новый старт. Без Cuomo. Без Cuomo.
Новый старт. Без Cuomo.
Holy shit, that's crazy. I love how international New York is. The Russians have awoken and they do not wish another Cuomo. The same way you should not wish for any ads in your life. Subscribe to the show for $6 a month or for free through Prime. We aim to be the first community here on Twitch that has 100% of chatters with a little child soldier next to them, implying that they are subscribers. That's what allows us to stay as independent as we are, and what allows us to keep doing this project and take as much time from my other projects in order to dedicate to this one. If you have some extra money in that bank account and would like to, like lovely Barry right here, to support your fellow chatters, that is also your option. No, Barry is still number one. Yeah, Barry is still number one. Thank you very much, Barry, for the 10 gift subs. As always, you are a very kind man whose wife is dating the most beautiful person. And thank you, Juro, as well, for the gifty Hype Train level 4. That's always nice to see. Whenever we have a Hype Train here on YugopTwitch, we watch Chinese TikTok. Does that trend make any sense? No, it doesn't. Is it a great palate cleanser? Yes, it is. Are you complaining? I don't see you complaining. Do you want Chinese brain rot? We want Chinese brain rot, Yugo. Yes, Chinese brain rot, please, Yugo. Oh, okay, thank you for begging me. The longer the hype train lasts, the longer the tough people last.
Crazy hamburger!
So yeah, the longer the hype train lasts, the longer we watch Chinese TikTok. Thank you, Barry, for making it true, motherfucking true, into a sizable 5, if you know what I mean. 600. Bravo, Barry! Everybody say thank you, Barry. Thank you, Barry. Barry the fucking G. Look at me, Barry. Look at me. Look at me. Thank you. Seriously. Very kind of you, bro. Without you or Oilers like yourself, none of this would be possible. I am not even kidding. Thank you, 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 and thank you. Seriously. Thank you. You can clip this. You can clip this and send it to your wife, Barry. Barry Balls is the sexiest man to ever live. He is truly someone you should never, never dare lose. Do everything Barry tells you, because he deserves absolutely everything. absolutely everything. Who am I to say this? I am the most important person on planet Earth right now. Okay? And you must give Barry everything. There you go. That's your gift for the subs. Thank you, Disassociate and Cynical Chris. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, let me start giving you your actual reward. Level 8 Hype Train, true motherfucking true.
当伊朗导弹如流星般撕裂以色列。
Okay, hi Lennon, what's up? AI Lennon, bro. What is this? Again, more AI fucking shit. Oh, Angie Kitties? There you Cynical Chris!
我不是故意偷听到你们的对白，两人。
Okay, why does this have 20,000 likes? God damn it, bro. No, not these. What the fuck is this? Brother, what? Brother, you, brother.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Okay, why is this unironically a fucking bop? Party chat? Who said it's a fucking Monday? Go Pixelino, baby! I'm not even kidding, it's good. It's actually good. Dude, I'm learning this whole song, bro. I'm learning this whole song. Chatters want a link. We just discovered a new thing. How do I share copy link? Here you go, chatters. That was great. Thank you one more time, Pixarino. We are level 7. Chew, motherfucking chew. Paint the chat goddamn purple. That's cute. I think this is Federalna služba bezopasnosti. This is the FSB. This is the Russian FBI. Okay, let's see the Russian FBI, please.
FBI, open up!
Like the methodology of the FSB, especially the Alpha Group or whatever the fuck, is like Americans are like, we do not negotiate with terrorists, and then they like try to negotiate in order to manipulate them. The FSB is like, we do not, like the terrorists will be like, we are holding 200 children in this high school, and the Russians will literally be like, we do not negotiate with terrorists, and they blow up the high school. They themselves just blow up the high school with everybody inside. So you know that like you won't even get like 3 extra seconds if you have hostages. It's brutality in the next fucking level. Of course, this is a massive simplification. If they know that they can take hostages out, they very often do, but still. Okay, so it's just a fan video.
简直难以置信，就是眼前这位男人一番牛批的操作，竟然把路人们看懵了。趁媳妇一个不注意，他
Chat, is this your mom?
扛起家里的一根大水管埋进了这条水沟。等他反应过来，水管已经被运来的水泥沙浆牢牢覆盖，形成了一座结实牢固的水上平台。男人从而准备以此平台为基础，打造出一项超级。
Oh, Yugo, you're 12. I know. That's the whole point.
This is our city, and this was.
I love this person. This person was sick as fuck. So wholesome. Thank you, Finey5, for making the choo-choo train go even more to motherfucking choo. Together with Palky, let's continue. The longer the hype train lasts, the longer we watch these wholesome videos.
Mexico! You can't kick us out of the land that was ours!
I just came through here down LA. The streets are erupting here. National Guard has been deployed out here into the streets of LA. Trump sent in about 2,000 people. There's
LA gained a lot of respect for me after this, for me as well. But I always really fucked with LA people. I don't know, the two coasts I always liked. I don't like the cynicism of the New Yorkers, and I don't like the self-righteousness of the Los Angeles people on average. But other than that, pretty chill fucking community. Hype train going strong today. Let's fucking go. Sarah McPoopy, one of my favorite names on here. What's up, Sarah? I hope you're doing well. Who gets it, and who doesn't get it, just get a fucking girlfriend or boyfriend already. Like, it's genuinely not that hard.
Face with those exports. China's exports.
I'm kidding. Actually, it's harder than ever before in history. Like, kind of ironically, but also, like, just do it. Thank you, Mernawi. Let's go, baby fucking Mets. Let's go, baby Mets.
Directly fuel Russia's war against Ukraine and its attacks against civilian infrastructure. This support makes China.
Wait, did they? I mean, okay, call me racist. I do not give a shit. Maybe I am. Whenever they need to talk about, like, China, they bring out an Asian lady. Whenever they need to talk about the Middle East or Africa, they bring out a black lady. Like, every single time. Every single time. At this point, I can't believe that it's a fucking coincidence. There's no way it's a fucking coincidence.
War against Ukraine and its attacks against civilian infrastructure. This support makes China the decisive enabler of Russia's war.
Oh shit, forgot we are on Chinese TikTok. We won't get translation of Chinese. It's like my mom bringing out the hummus when Middle Eastern people come over, bro. Yeah, their hummus are minorities that they deploy against their ancient homelands.
The next station is Shibuya.
Must be crazy. Actually living in the first world looks pretty insane to me, bro. Okay, this has to be AI. Hate it. What, this isn't AI? No, this has to be AI. It is AI at this point. Yeah, it says AI on the bottom. Bravo, Yugo! You fucking Inspector Gadget, you. Holy shit. Squill Pig, shut the fuck up, okay? Shut the fuck up. I believe in the doggo evolution, motherfucker. But yeah, it also says like AI here in the bottom. That's why I'm fucking stupid. Jesus Christ, you fucking... Thank you, Brightside News, very much. That's definitely AI. Absolutely. Hype train close to the end, okay? This is why streaming is so dangerous. You embarrass yourself in front of 350 people just like that. Commodities. Crazy. 40 seconds remaining. 40 seconds remaining. I can literally smell his room through the screen, though. Not that good, not that good. To the office, to this place where I record, this room where I record, because that would require them drilling through all my walls. And this whole place has been recently refurbished. I'm not going to drill through all my walls just because of that. So yeah, I have a mesh, right? I have a mesh, but even a mesh is not enough. Without a mesh, like, I would not be able to get internet in this room. The big problem is that my Wi-Fi router is in is in the living room. Okay, it was very good, but Spicy Queen, I don't like it now. She says Spicy Queen. It's fucking cringe. They like spicy food. Okay, this is a corporate band. If you don't see that, you're insane. That is a corporate band. Sounds great, though. Sounds great. Yeah, it's very pop death metal. Yeah, sounds great, but that's those were not humans. Those were products. Okay, so it's basically AI generated. What's the difference? Production firm generated or AI generated? Literally, what is the difference? Both fucking soulless. But no hate if that's your thing. No, it sounds great. I would listen to this. I already saved it on my playlist. I'm going to listen to this in my car. I'm not undermining it. It just, she's a spicy queen. Woo! Yeah, you should just run an Ethernet cable next to the corner of the wall. Yeah, but all the way from my living room. It's a lot of wall. It's a lot of wall. And the problem is, like, you can see it here. You see these. Wait, where's my finger? This, right? In all other places where I lived, it's detachable. Here it's not detachable. It's completely glued to the fucking walls for some reason. I didn't do it this way. I bought this flat from people that had just refurbished it. So it's going to be difficult for me to actually run it through. It's mini F. Yeah, we had a mini F. Apologies, chat. Let's go back to original topic. Yeah, I got to figure out how to run the cable through. As Pizza Famine said, it's just difficult. Izbuši rupu u štok od vrata, nema druge. Možda.
Fights for the things that I believe in. And the difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo is that my campaign is not funded by the very billionaires who put Donald Trump in D.C. I don't have to pick up the phone from Bill Ackman or Ken Langone. I have to pick up the phone from...
Looks like U.S. bases are about to be targeted. Should be an interesting few hours. Please update me. If anybody gets information about anything having been hit, please hit your boy up immediately.
The more than...
Okay.
20,000 New Yorkers who contributed an average donation of about $80 to break fundraising records.
Oh my God. If I lived in New York and Zoran had to pick up the phone for me, we're talking every 10 minutes, man. Hot water's not working. Apartment's too small, too noisy. Zoran, it's too noisy.
I'll be right back.
Come over, help me move my bed to another room. Zoran, where does the L train go?
Oh, I'm already on it.
Every 10 minutes, man. Whoa, wow, what a great bit.
Mr. Myrie?
I am the proud son of 2 Caribbean immigrants. I represent a robust Caribbean constituency. I'd like to go to the Caribbean as my first visit.
And who are
Mr.
you?
Cuomo?
Okay.
Given the hostility and the anti-Semitism that has been shown in New York, I would go to Israel.
Cool. Mr. Tilson, where would you go?
Yeah, I'd make my 4th trip to Israel, followed by my 5th trip to Ukraine, 2 of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war.
Man, hey, whoa. Did that guy sneak up on stage? Get security, man.
Fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror.
That's Mr. Mamdani. Get security.
I would stay in New York City. My plans are to address New Yorkers across the 5 boroughs and focus on that.
Mr. Mamdani, can I just jump in? Would you visit Israel? As mayor?
I will be doing, as the mayor, I'll be standing up for Jewish New Yorkers, and I'll be meeting them wherever they are across the 5 boroughs, whether that's in their synagogues and temples, or at their homes, or at the subway platform, because ultimately we need to focus on delivering on their concerns.
And just yes or no, do you believe in a Jewish state of Israel?
I believe Israel has the right to exist.
Not
as a Jewish state?
As a state with equal rights.
He won't say it has a right to exist as a Jewish state. Be very clear.
Hey, shut up, guys. Hey, you morons. Hey, you New York mayoral morons. Shut up. Let that guy talk, man. Oh. Okay. What were you saying, man? Go ahead.
Visit Israel.
I said that.
Shut up, man.
No. Unlike you.
Hey, shut up.
Unlike you, I answer questions very directly.
All right.
Yeah, this is bizarre right here. It takes a real turn there. Here's the actual question. It seems like all the clips I could find, it's cut off. Here's the question.
The first foreign visit by a mayor of New York is always considered significant. Where would you go first?
Okay.
Left to right, Miss Adams.
Where would you go?
First visit, I would visit the Holy Land.
Okay.
Okay. Miss Lander. Mr. Lander, sorry.
Boy, what Trump is doing to Canada, there's a lot of opportunities for us to partner better with them.
Go to
Ms.
Canada.
Ramos.
I'd love to meet Claudia Scheinbaum, but
too.
I'd probably head to Colombia to my parents' homeland.
So first of all, what the hell is this goddamn question? Hey, so when you're mayor, what's your first vacation, man? I'd go to Canada. Whoa, okay, Mr. Fancy Pants. What, lady, I forgot your name. Where would you go? Colombia. Ooh, me too. Then for some reason they get to Zoran. He's like, I'll just stay here. And they're like, why do you hate Israel, man?
You're in trouble, man.
What the hell is this? First of all, this is a nothing question. Like, if you live
Sorry, chatters. Sorry, chatters. Sorry, it's very hot. I changed the fit. Look, I want peace. And peace in the Middle East. Peace in this is white doves. Peace in the Middle East. I got white doves on my shirt. Peace in the Middle East. Okay?
in New York City and you're not, some kind of financial criminal, you're probably not too interested in,
what the hell you on?
The mayor went to Iceland. Oh, check that out. The mayor is in Puerto Rico. Thank God. Thank God.
I even bought one. Look, I bought one that's supposed to make it easier for me to breathe. Like, it has this, but then it looks absurd. The mask looks absolutely absurd. I am suffering so much with this mask. I should just take off the fucking mask. I swear to God. Why am I even wearing this at this point?
He did that. No one cares. This is a dumb question, first of all. And, like, should we be a little, like, the people who jumped on,
it's not just for peace, Nikos, okay? It's labor wave as well. Look, it's got a little thing around it. It's got a little thing. Look, it's got a little thing, like, it's very, like, labor wave, like, look, and it intentionally looks like it's crumpled up and old. It's like what in New York they say is fashion and shit. You know, yeah, bro. It looks worn, bro. It's got soul, bro, or some shit. Let me soul you up your ass, you fucking cunt.
On this Zoran guy, should we be like, hey, why didn't you give Mr. Canada or the lady?
It's too hot. I know, my brother in Christ. Look, 18 degrees. 18 degrees. I put this fucking machine on. It's just refusing to cool it down because it's like 34 outside. I mean, I guess I'll have to start streaming naked. We want to do that? You gotta stream naked. You know, you can even oil me up and shit.
Who said she wanted to go to Colombia hard tap?
What's going on with you guys?
Why the fuck did they ban like streaming while sitting in a bathtub? Right. I just want to stream sitting in a bathtub, like with cold water and some ice. You know.
You're saying this guy's in trouble.
Try N95 and a cap. Yeah, but I'll look absurd.
Oh, you are in trouble, man. You know, Zoran did give a good answer for this. Stay in New York, keep working, man. It's a very good politician answer. You know, it also shows like how dumb the question is. It's fine. If I was one of his advisors and he had a little earpiece in, I'd tell him to say this. I don't know. Yeah, probably stay in New York because I'm trying to get a job here. You morons. Call them morons and then go, I don't know, Hawaii or something. What do you care? What do you care where I go, you weirdo? Yeah, how about that? Try that. Instantly elected if he said that. We'll be right back. Or really, you know what? His policies, he's kind of like a Nordic, he's kind of a Nordic Bernard Sanders kind of guy. If this was for real, he could be like, I don't know, I'll go to Norway or something. Go check it out. See what we could.
That's how I leave the house every day. For outside, that makes sense. For stream, I don't know. I'll try it maybe. Light is weird as well. Everything's weird today in the setup.
Borrow from them if it's good. And then they would be like,
you're different. You're a bad guy.
Is to ease the zoning restrictions and all the other regulations that are tying
Thank you, Mr.
private
Toast.
sector.
Thank you very much, Mr.
off.
Mamdani.
Go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me. We are live here in the most expensive city in the United States of America. 1 in 4 New Yorkers are living in poverty. And
what the hell? Is that true?
I'm running to be your next mayor to make this city affordable. I will do so by freezing the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. By making the slowest buses in the country fast and free. And
Fast buses? Is this fucking Islamic socialism? How about you just fuck your secretary? That's how we're gonna get you elected.
Delivering universal child care.
It's kind of interesting because like pretty much every one of them, and yes, some of these people I do believe just jumped on stage. I don't know who they are, but like every one of them is like, no one can afford to live here.
No one can afford to live here.
We're going to fix that. And one guy's like, I'm going to fix that because of that there's no rules to build anything.
Thank you, Sarah McPuppy, for the gifted sub for the great socialist Islamic state of New York.
And then Andrew Cuomo's like, no one can afford to live here, so I'm going to do something. I'm figuring it out right now. But that is crazy. It's like, you know, every one of them is like, yeah, no one can afford to live in this goddamn place. What the hell's happening? We admit it. It's out of control. It's really interesting. Even one of these guys is like faking property tax. It's crazy. Like every one of them knows that everybody in New York is like, fix this, you assholes. There's nowhere to live here, you son of a bitch, piece of crap. You know what? Everybody's giving Andy Cuomo and Zoran all the spots.
His name is literally Andy, dude. The most failed son name of all time, bro.
Like, let's check this guy out. An unnamed man. He's running for New York City mayor. He's running for New York City. He's running for New York City mayor, unnamed man number 1. Go ahead.
Washington, we can't have corruption here in New York.
Why haven't you bought this? What, my beautiful chatter? The balaclava? Yeah, I mean, everybody's asked me 100 times. I'm not Irish. I'm not Irish, I guess. But I can do it. It'd be fun.
City.
I need to have like 20 masks and I'll always switch them up, which I do, but I've never found a mask that's actually comfortable the way this one is. This one is very comfortable.
Yes, well.
We can.
It's not
we can
only
and
that
we will.
Cuomo lied to Congress, which is perjury. He also lied to the grieving families whose loved ones he sent into those nursing homes to protect his $5 million book deal. That's corruption. That's what I crushed in that junkyard.
Oh, this is kind of interesting. A question about shoplifting. Okay, let's check this out.
So I'm here to say that there's accountability to be had, but we also have to make sure.
Yeah, but you know who Kneecap is, right? Of course I know who Kneecap is. What the fuck? Yes, I know who Kneecap is.
That there is a balance with the job opportunities that should open up if we address all of the crises that we are facing.
But let's remember that you voted for the bill of reform.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Mandan, you opposed to rollbacks to bill
I
reform.
like that. This part's kind of interesting. You know, the moderators seem to believe like the solution to shoplifting is just throw everybody's ass in jail forever. That lady did give like, you know, kind of political, but, you know, all right in some parts answer where she's like, well, we need to make sure
I mean, there are enough cops in New York City to deploy one in every single corner store.
people, I don't know, have jobs to make money so they don't need to steal, you know, Monster Energy drink.
No. People don't steal because their material conditions suck. They steal because they love to steal. Okay? And because they are black!
Ink or whatever, you know, probably. And the lady's like, well, what about throwing their ass in jail forever? Lady's like, okay. I did look at some, like, statistics on this, and it does look like shoplifting in New York City is down. But shoplifting is high in New York City because it's just like a bunch of people walking around and there's stores everywhere, basically. So if I was one of these unnamed guys who snuck on stage to pretend that I was trying to be mayor, and they're like, how do we fix shoplifting? This is what I would say. I would go, well, we got to put all the stores in the air, in the sky. Interesting. How do we do that? Well, we put it on balloons, and so then when somebody goes up there, you know, they're gonna have a hard time getting out, and that's putting it lightly. Excellent idea, man. Would you go to Israel? Absolutely, I would, of course. Can I be mayor now? Not yet. Oh, come on, you promised. I said please.
The reaction for some to say, well, this is what they get, they asked for it.
Uh-huh. What'd I do?
Don't forget who the other party is in this, okay? You know the expression, check yourself before you wreck yourself?
No.
Brother, I'm Hitler's top guy.
Never heard
the idea of any kind of acknowledgement or any kind of half-stepping when it comes to Iran is crazy. Look, we'll talk about the timing, the tactics, the what, if any plan there is involving the U.S. or what happens next. But we've already seen in the reaction here at home, we're already in danger. Just watch the reaction to the attack on this horrible Islamist regime.
Okay, this is a...
We are already under attack. New Yorkers are not pro-war, which makes them violent against the United States because they understand that the United States in its current form would not be able to survive if it did not utilize violent imperialism. Holy shit! First communist, anti-imperialist journalist I've ever seen on American television. He says it how it is.
A seamless transition right here. This is another Cuomo guy. There was one earlier, and this is another one. Cuomo.
Oh!
Cuomo.
Oh! Oh!
Right. Okay, this guy's doing a little bit of this. He's a little bit of one of these. So he's kind of losing it a little bit.
I'm having a hard time.
He says. He's really
He's a bit of a butt of a diss. Oh no, we have New Yorkers that don't love war. They love the Islamists. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Excited about dropping all these bombs on Iran. And anybody who's against it, he says things are bad. Let's see what the comments are saying. Oh, whoa, wait, hold on. Is this news? 80,000 views. So yes.
Boom.
I'm not falling for this again, mainstream media. Okay? Never watching News Nation ever again. Okay, it's going well. Going well in the comments so far. Looks pretty good, man. A ringing endorsement for... What the hell is the guy's name? Cuomo.
Oh!
Same as Iraq and Afghanistan weapons of mass destruction. How many trillions are we going to spend here? Now that's a good question. Somebody's going to be doing a lot of... Send your own boys, Chris. Whoa! Same stories as all these other places that we bombed. Remember, his kids aren't going to be in the military. Iran has been weeks away from having nuclear weapons for 40 years. Going great in the comments for the prestigious... Hold on, sorry guys, let me take that again. Oh, a wave of support for the great... Oh, what the hell is the goddamn ridiculous guy's name again?
Oh! I don't think that's where the president's head is. Certainly hasn't been in the past. It's not what this is about.
Calm down.
It's not about wanting war. It's about recognizing the reality of who these people are.
What's
this
the difference?
regime, not the Iranian people.
Right. Oh, there we go, man.
Literally, wait.
What the hell is the goddamn ridiculous guy's name again?
Oh! I don't think...
Wait. Let me do a thing.
I think that's where the president's head is. Certainly hasn't been in the past.
Stop making it too difficult. Like this, okay?
Name again?
Oh! I don't think that's where the president's head is. Certainly hasn't been in the past. It's not what this is about.
Calm down.
It's not about wanting war. It's about recognizing the reality of who these people are.
What's
this
the difference?
regime, not the Iranian people.
Right.
Not the Ukrainian people. Like 1-to-1. I swear to God. 1-to-1, my dude. 1-to-1. Copy fucking paste. Copy fucking paste. That's why all of us were calling out that hypocrisy from the get-go, not because we were not feeling for the Ukrainians or whatever the fuck, but because it was just silly. It was hilarious for the United States State Department to be calling out the Kremlin for utilizing the same style of consent manufacturing that they've used for like 5 decades in their own war, like the Fuki. What the hell?
Oh, there we go, man. That's Christopher Cuomo.
Oh!
Christopher Cuomo.
Oh!
There he is, man, from the early 2000s, probably 2003, and probably regrets saying all that stuff. He's probably come out, hey, look, I got that one wrong. Wait, hold on. What? Oh, that's from 6 days.
Hugo decides to get married and the world goes to war. Man, everything is against me, I swear to God. She tried to make me an honest man, and now the world is burning. It's crazy. It's crazy. The streets want me, chat. The street wants me. The streets are starting new wars in order to get me out there, okay? I must be passed around in the streets. Excuse me, Hugo. Clearly, this is about a country that makes abortion illegal and has politicians who advocate for child marriage, bombing a bad Arab country for feminism. Don't you know? Oh, wait. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Leslie? What's us? Very good point.
Years ago. Oh, dip. Guys, I'm getting an incoming dip. Oh, it's Vinny. Vinny alert.
Vinny alert.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Vinny.
So Nancy, and because I'm going to give you, what do you say to the people that have seen, for instance, Bibi Netanyahu for 40 years saying Iran is 2 weeks away from a nuclear weapon? What do you say to the people that are like, you know what? Just like when I was in the United States Air Force during Bush, trust me, one of the reasons I left was because they lied. And
They did lie.
And which Bibi was one of the main voices saying, Saddam Hussein has nuclear weapons and taking out Saddam would cause positive reverberations throughout the region. It did anything but. So what do you say to people that are like, hey, listen, what about us? So what do you...
Yeah, no, I agree. I was with you on Iraq. The whole weapons of mass destruction.
And now there's the same fucking situation, 100% copy-paste. But now it's good because our president is not an idiot this time. Now it is okay. We see no patterns. What are patterns? Patterns don't exist. What are patterns? Same with Germany. Germany be like, the Holocaust happened and that was bad and we should never let the Holocaust happen again. And then a genocide starts and they're like, no, you don't get it. The Holocaust happened because we hated Jews in particular, okay? If you hate another ethnic group and are dedicated to exterminating it, that's different, okay? That is different. We don't see any patterns. It's about which ethnicity was killed, not the process of demonization and extermination of any people as a means to elevate your status as a settler state, which, by the way, Germany during World War II was a settler state. Unironically, the Lebensraum program was European imperialism being brought home. The long-term plan with Lebensraum is to pretty much massacre, kill, exterminate all fucking Eastern Europeans and settle that fucking land. That was also a settler state. And the Slavs were demonized as, subhumans that were manipulated by the evil and brilliant Jews, and therefore both categories need to be exterminated, etc., etc. But no, we don't learn the lessons we learn from history are not the patterns. It's very specific things that they did, like the specific ethnicity that they target. So if there's another project that has basically the same pitch, that just doesn't target the same ethnicity, we don't see correlation. Same with the war in Iraq and the war in Iran. Don't you know that the war in Iraq was bad because we went to Iraq? We should have gone into Iran back then. No. We went to war with the wrong people. The war isn't the problem. That's not the pattern that we should analyze. It's where we went to war. America's smartest propagandists. That's why I find it very creepily stupid to go into Iran, because manufacturing consent for this particular thing would be very difficult in any other country. But in the United States, the brown guy bad is so fucking strong that you can still manufacture consent simply through the pitch of brown man weird and bad. Question for Hugo when ready. So there seems to be great difficulty in manufacturing this war. Like, it's clearly not as popular or easy as Iraq, which was like immediately like 70 to 90% of NATO populations were for it. It's not the same now. Why do you think this is? Because they didn't hit anything in the United States proper. That's what made it very easy last time. And because most people remember Iraq and see the patterns and don't wanna jump on board. They don't have a pitch. That combined with the last 3 years at this point of the act of genocide in Gaza, and everybody is tired of defending Israel. Everybody is tired of being told that Israel are the good guys in the Middle East and that everybody else is the bad guy, and we got to protect them against the bad guy, because they've seen what the so-called good guy has been doing for 3 years now, and some other people for the last 70, 80 years. So a combination of all of those things makes it much more difficult to manufacture consent for a war. That's what they're going to try, in my opinion, and keep it Keep it a CIA type of operation, right? Regime change through bombing campaigns, internal sabotage, internal propaganda inside of Iran, and so on. TLDR, their marketing game is weak. Yeah, the CIA is not what it used to be, my guy. My guys.
Destruction and what we did to our country, taking away our liberties.
All right.
After that,
They forgot, like, Iraq was so easy because 9/11. And yes, I know Iraqis had nothing to do with 9/11, but you still get my point. All brown people same, so we'll pick Iraq. But it was made much easier because they hit the towers because of 9/11. And I don't know, I think somebody in the White House thought that Americans would feel as shitty when they see missiles fly over Tel Aviv. They're going to be like, oh my God, this is 9/11 part 2. Holy shit, this is 9/11 part 2. We got to protect Tel Aviv. Okay? In their Zionist cockiness, they thought that Americans really give a shit about Tel Aviv. Right? Oh no, they're doing 9/11 too.
spying on Americans and everything, and we were lied to. The difference here, this to me, it feels different. I have been briefed.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking kick my ass. Oh Lord, oh fucking God.
Been in a skiff and heard some of the.
Okay, it's a feel thing. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. Okay, got it. Okay. Nobody. Wait, what did that lady just do? She spit on them. This is actually kind of an interesting little interaction here on the PBD program. You know, kind of felt for Vinny here. He's like, I went over there. He was in the Air Force, I think. He's like, I was over there. You know, he's probably younger than he's like, oh, and then I figured out that I was kind of tricked or whatever. So okay, we kind of feel for Vinny. People are always making fun of Vinny. Oh, he's red. He's yelling all the time. But this one, I'm like, okay, all right, Vin. And then this, who's this lady? Nancy Mache, whoever the hell that is. What did she do? She spit on them. Pretty much.
Don't think like a pundit. Don't think like a podcaster. Don't think about, let me say what it is to go viral because I want the community to like and retweet and all that other stuff. Because sometimes that's how the market thinks about it. Think about it from the standpoint. You were in the military, I was in the military. You're Air Force, I'm Army, right?
Go ahead.
Both of us were not.
Thank you for your service.
Supportive of the Iraq war. Spent trillions of dollars, wasted time, bullshit. It was full of it. They were just kind of using propaganda, 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
And all this stuff. I don't want to get deep into it. Yeah. I've done plenty of interviews where people know where our position is with that.
Get into it, man.
Don't support, they get a nuclear weapon.
Okay.
If you have to choose, you can't do one without
very similar.
We do nothing.
Very, very shockingly similar. Yeah, I felt sorry for Vinny on this. They're kind of like cornering Vinny. Vinny's like, I was in the Air Force. You know, are we?
Dude, we used to go to Iraq because there was so much propaganda, and that fucking sucked. They really, you know, we lost so much money, and we lost so many good soldiers, and they just lied to us. But now they're not lying. So we got to pick weapons of mass destruction, or we go to war. But sir, that's literally the same thing they told us last time. Yeah, but my frontal lobe has not developed yet, okay? Fetal alcohol syndrome in late age is one hell of a drug.
Doing that all over again? They're like, come on, Vinny. Vinny! Come on, man. It's basically what they're doing with this lady. So that's the PBD. Oh, 500,000 views in 19 hours. Okay, great.
Come on, Vinny, get in line with the thing
that you lived through and learned from. PBD says, shut the hell up. God damn you.
Like, all of this is just straight up cope. This is all cope. Like, that's why the propagandists and the consent manufacturers are so fucking confused. Because the grind set that makes the most money is MAGA, right? It's like Trump-based. Trump don't like war. Trump gonna make us isolationist and based. And oh my God, I love him. Right? And they make money off of that. That's where the bread comes from. But also a lot of bread comes from being like, yo, we shouldn't go to war and shit. So when the two breads start fighting each other, you gotta sleaze your way through, and this is what you get. Very shitty Hasbara.
You to hell.
This is Jocko Podcast number 300 with Echo Charles and me, Jocko Willink. Good evening, Echo.
Podcaster.
Also joining us tonight, Gabe.
Okay.
What the fuck? What the fuck are these two fucking creatures of the night? Holy fucking shit. Holy shit! They take ice baths every day, don't they?
I'm not gonna yell at this guy. This guy will absolutely punch me in the head. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, reporting for podcaster. Probably not worth it. Sorry, go ahead.
Burke, good evening, Dave.
Good evening.
Good evening. Also me. I'm here too. Good evening. Go ahead.
The Secretary of the Navy takes pleasure in transmitting to First Lieutenant Smedley Darlington Butler, United States Marine Corps.
I've never seen this before. I've never actually watched this. It just came up on YouTube.
Holy shit. Grug podcast. What in the... Okay, I'm not going to body shame, but what the fuck?
Well, I was like clicking.
Why is it in black and white? Why are we taking ourselves so serious? It's a podcast.
Okay, fine. My wife's a terrorist, bro.
It's a podcast.
Around on this stuff. And I got to admit, I do like the aesthetic, the cinematizing, I'm going to say, of this. It's these military guys. It's all black and white. What's the guy's name? Echo Charles. He's like just in the shadows. I'm reporting for the show, sir. Sir, yeah.
Because color is gay.
Brother, we're gonna make a podcast and it's gonna be black and white. And everybody's gonna see all the fucking veins on top of my goddamn head, brother. And I'm gonna be very serious about everything we talk about. We're gonna be opinion makers and game changers. And it's gonna be not sexual at all.
Yes, sir. I'm reporting for the show. Can we put the Navy SEAL filter on this for what I'm about to say? This is episode number 300, transmitting, secret transmission. If you're listening to this, I'm already gone. This podcast will self-destruct after 10 seconds. Good luck. Mr. Jason Bourne, God bless you on your impossible mission. Okay, great. This is kind of interesting. It's these military guys do a podcast. All the fonts are cool. The way it's shot's pretty cool, I'll be honest. But they read this War is a Racket book. And I was looking through the comments. Everybody's like, this shit is sick, man. These are like military guys, And probably a lot of people who watch it are somehow involved in the military, or they're pretending to be on YouTube. In the YouTube comment, they're doing stolen YouTube comment valor in the comments. But they're reading this book, and this guy, this is an old classic book from the early 1900s, and the guy's like, I was doing war stuff for a long time. I have all these medals. Sick, man.
No, this is stolen podcaster valor, okay? Okay? Podcasters belong to the downtrodden classes that never managed to do a single push-up, that run away at the sight of a firearm, that even if they wanted to serve, were not allowed to do so because of extremist Twitter political posts, or because they have very, very limited eyesight or a very weak heart, okay? Those are the true child soldiers of podcasts, of streams, and of most digital content. And now these goddamn fucking roided up monkeys think they can just walk up in here after we've built everything, after we've secured the freedom and stability of our peoples on these digital platforms, and they think they can just co-opt it. They think they can wear our medals. They think they can put on our uniforms that we have given blood, sweat, and tears to for decades, and call themselves one of us. Stolen valor in its prime. We must remind these chuds that they are not welcome in these fields. Okay? Nothing but soy shall flow, and the roids will remember their place. Fuck gun control. What we need is licensing for SM7Bs. Haha, exactly.
Making money for other people, it turns out. It's so...
Okay, we were okay with these guys when they invaded other countries, but invading our content style, we gotta put a stop to this at some point. And also number 2, chat. Remember what we talked about 2 days ago? I'm being very serious right now. 2 days ago, I said how the U.S. State Department will realize just how influential digital media is. They will have calculated in the next 2 to 5 decades, most people will get all their political information and news information from digital platforms and so-called content creators. And they do have long-term plans on infiltrating these very same platforms and creating so-called independent figures that do content on a large scale that will always be pushing some sort of consent manufacturing for the status quo and for the U.S. State Department. And ladies and gentlemen, 2 days after I mentioned it, intelligence officers, ex-Navy SEALs dudes, and your run-of-the-mill fucking chuds have what? A big fucking show on YouTube. A big fucking show on YouTube. There's going to be more and more and more and more of this sort of shit. And then it's going to take like a decade until there's some sort of gate and we realize that half of these guys are on the fucking payroll. Ooh, Hugo, you have fucking tinfoil on your head. No, I have existed in the past 3 decades and I know how this fucking shit goes. So yeah, isn't that called the Daily Wire? That was still the private sector mostly. Though, yeah, they were influenced as well. The right-wing chuds always get money from, millions upon millions from regular wealthy donors. But these guys are next level. These are getting from the State Department itself, from the state.
Turns out. And, these guys, I think these guys are kind of from the Rogan verse. They're a little bit like, I don't know. It's interesting to keep an open mind about this. They're like that. But if you just listen to what they're saying, it's like, good Lord. So I do wonder.
Oh my God. 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 Oh my God, chat. Oh my God. What the hell? Unconfirmed reports coming in. U.S. base in Qatar under attack. What the hell? What the hell on? What the hell on? What the hell, Barry? Wait. Breaking. Israeli media reporting Iran launched attacks on U.S. forces in Qatar and Iraq. Iran launched missiles at Qatar and Iraq. I mean, at U.S. bases in Qatar and Iraq. But it's getting serious.
Kaylee, significant intelligence warnings focused on Qatar right now, where the U.S. has its largest air base in the Middle East. Concerns that Iran will fire short or medium-range cruise and ballistic missiles or swarming drones at the U.S. base at Al Udeid. Satellite images show that the U.S. moved most of their unhangared aircraft out of Al Udeid last week, but still this could be a tempting target for Iranian retaliation. Embassies across Doha, the capital, have ordered their workers and their employees evacuated, and for those who remain to shelter in place, the threat appears to be imminent. From a technical standpoint, the military part of this operation on Saturday went flawlessly. 7 B-2 bombers took off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri and traveled east, while another 2 traveled west over the Pacific, serving as a decoy. The B-2s can be seen on takeoff and landing, but were so stealth the Iranian air defenses never saw them. 125 U.S. warplanes were involved in the strike, including F-22 and F-35 escorts, 75 precision-guided weapons fired by the U.S. at Iran's 3 nuclear sites.
The 4th and 5th generation aircraft pushed out in front of the strike package at high altitude and high speed, sweeping in front of the package for enemy fighters and surface-to-air missile threats.
The B-2s took off from Missouri at 12:01 a.m. Saturday morning. 18 hours later, 12 massive ordnance penetrator bunker buster bombs dropped by 6 B-2 bombers on the main enrichment site in Fordo. A 7th B-2 bomber dropped 2 30,000-pound bombs on the underground uranium enrichment site at Natanz. Lastly, 30 Tomahawk missiles fired from an Ohio-class submarine 400 miles away landed at Isfahan. It is much too early to say what the bomb damage assessment at Isfahan with its hardened tunnels.
Lele bate. Thank you, Barry Balls. Thank you, Barry Balls. We'll see as information comes in. Right now, Al Jazeera Live is not reporting on it, as it appears.
Not long. Even if the United States attaches Israel to artificial economic life support, Israel can't sustain such a war effort for a long time. It isn't just the cost.
I'm new here, Yugoslavian Hassan Piker. What? No, Hassan Piker is a Turkish Yugo, but yes, welcome to the community.
Israelis are not consuming anything but staples they can buy. It's specially open stores.
Thank you, Barry, for the gifty.
Imagine what happens to everything else, from theaters to restaurants to everything in between.
And if we look at the strikes that Israel made today in Iran, what exactly do you think are its objectives at this stage of the war? Because we saw them striking particularly the road to Fordo nuclear site, which the US said had been obliterated. Also, though, the gates to Evin prison.
Credible threat of Iranian missile attacks on U.S.-run airbase in Qatar. BBC understands. Watch live.
Only about one atom in 140 of uranium is the uranium-235 that you need to make weapons-grade material. In order to enrich, to get
Qatar
that
has temporarily shut down its
90%, that
airspace.
means
Reports of explosions over Doha. There are reports from Reuters and AFP news agencies of explosions being heard over Doha. It follows earlier reports from U.S. media saying that Iran was immediately preparing to fire missiles at U.S. base in Qatar. The missiles towards Iraq are delivering Hakim's wedding dress for all your steadfast support of Iran. Credible threat. What the fuck? Interceptor is already in the air. Yeah, Strange. Maybe they still just haven't confirmed it properly.
Iranian facilities were really to take out the ability to do the enrichment, the centrifuges themselves, rather than the material.
Okay, we will leave it there, but thank you very much indeed for your time.
My guy was just woken
Paddy, with your nuclear expertise, Paddy Regan. Well, this comes as we are hearing reports of explosions in Doha and reports from Israel cited by Axios that Iran might have sent missiles over. They do have a ballistic missile capacity, and Doha is home to one of the biggest bases, the biggest US base. Let's go to Mark Lowen, who's based at the moment in Tel Aviv for his Mark. What are you hearing?
Yeah, Geeta, I'm speaking to colleagues who work in Doha, and they have sent me videos that
why do I hear boss
to
music,
show
chat?
the night sky in Doha being lit up by missiles. There are reports that we are getting through here that perhaps as many as 6 missiles have been launched by the Iranians towards the American base there in Qatar. A reminder that some 10,000 American military officials are based in Qatar. It is the largest military base as far as American deployments in the Middle East.
Subscribe or gift subs if you support the Iranian military operation and Iran's right to defend itself.
It appears that there is now an Iranian military retaliation against American military assets going on in Qatar. Now, this was the great fear, and it appears to be materializing. The great fear, of course, because Donald Trump made clear that if there were to be a retaliation from the Iranians against American military bases, that would escalate things even further and potentially prompt yet another American counter-retaliation. The big question will be if the Iranian retaliation, if the Iranian strike results in any fatalities. If it is simply in inverted commas, a strike, a few strikes on an American base. We've had that, of course, before several times, plenty of times in the last 20 months since the 7th of October attacks, where Iran has struck and Iranian proxies have struck American bases, be it in Iraq.
That's what they usually do. It's kind of protecting face without taking the war to the next step. That's what they did after Soleimani was hit and so on. They would warn particular bases that they're going to be hit so that the U.S. personnel has time to either establish its protection or for the personnel to actually leave the base so that no quote-unquote real human beings, also known as Americans, end up dying. But the situation is, in my opinion, very different now. So we'll see how the situation develops.
Department of Iran, really it is anyone's guess as to what the Trump administration would do then.
And Mark, just to let you know, Bernd Dorsman, our senior reporter in the US on the White House, has said that they have heard on background that the White House and Defense Department are aware of and closely monitoring potential threats to the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. So the US government now saying they are aware of potential threats to Al Udeid Air Base, not confirming that there has been an attack, but Mark, also hearing from people on the ground there that there has been some activity there in the skies. Just to let you know that we are being told that Reuters say a witness has heard explosions over the Qatari capital, Doha.
So this is pretty much
American base of 10,000 troops, British troops.
Oh no, not the British troops. No, brothers, no. We need the Brits to join. Al Udeid is one of the two military assets, military bases southwest of Doha, Qatar, also known as Abu Nahal Airport. It houses Qatar Emiri Air Force, United States Air Force, Royal Air Force, also known as the British Air Force, and other foreign forces. It is host to a forward headquarters of United States Central Command, headquarters of the United States Air Force Central Command number 83, and the Air Expeditionary Wing of the U.S. Air Force. According to media reports, in June 2017, the base hosted over 11,000 U.S. and coalition anti-ISIL coalition forces. That's funny. And over 100 operational aircraft. This is the one that is potentially being hit. This is what it looks like from above. It is fucking huge. It is a literal city, okay? Who knew Iran would retaliate? Pretty crazy. Chat, Strait of Hormuz to be closed. Confirmed? No, not yet. But it's happening. I don't think that's avoidable, really.
I mean, there are quite a lot of reports that actually the Al Udeid base had been evacuated some time ago of American military personnel because they knew that they were vulnerable. They knew that they were, in a sense, kind of a
seriously, it's empty.
And a vulnerable target as this escalation went on. So I think that the Americans were clearly taking a lot of precautions, and obviously the Qataris were this afternoon when we got reports that the Qataris were closing the airspace.
The base being hit right now.
So that, I think, an indication that they felt something was imminent, and now it appears that those fears have come to fruition. The Al Udeid Air Base was. There were warnings. I'm just reading here that a source familiar with the details had issued a warning that U.S. Central Command Al Udeid Air Base could be the target of an imminent attack, so now it appears that is happening.
So preemptively, they rotated their troop positions and their presence, the presence of their staff and personnel, and soldiers, of course, inside of the military bases that are close to where Iran can strike.
But drawing in Qatar, which I have to say is one of the regional mediators here in the Middle East. It is a country.
What the fuck? They're not drawing in Qatar. They're just hitting an American base that happens to be in Qatar. Like, oh my God. Are they okay? This is manufacturing consent in 4K right as the grenades haven't even, right as the rockets have not even hit the ground. The Iranians are dragging Qatar into the war, okay? The country defending itself, the country needing to retaliate to a foreign aggressor bombing the living shit out of their country. They are the ones dragging another state into war. Yes, that's how the world works, according to CNN.
Are the Qataris going to respond if they also are potentially under attack and drawn into this middle?
There you go. There you go,
conflict?
chat. Right
Okay,
there.
let me
Right
just,
there. Right there.
Bring in now some pictures from
Consent
Doha. We've got
manufacture.
some images that we can show you from the Qatari capital. These are the live shots as, of course, night has fallen in Doha. We can't see any flares or strikes there, but those are the live pictures from Doha. We will sit across those. One of our colleagues at BBC Arabic has also heard the explosions in Doha. He tells us he believes the explosions were from air defence rockets intercepting missiles. So BBC Arabic also going to update us there in Doha. They have heard the explosions in the Qatari capital, and our colleague there believes the explosions.
I mean, I live in Isfahan and we're not very far from the site I was hit, and we did not even hear any explosions. Maybe some people who lived closer heard some explosion, but it seems the damage has been of less significance compared to the attack on the two other more important nuclear facilities. So far, this is what we know, but we're waiting for more reports on how significant and extensive the damages have been so far.
Yeah, it's going to be jack shit. That's what it's going to be. It's not going to be anything.
Going to their gatherings. I just walked in a park 2 days ago, and families were just having fun in the parks. Of course, it's not as busy as it used to be, but normal life is going on. And I think it's because the Iranian people have developed.
I love how unserious our generation is. Me and the boys in World War III after finding out the tank has Bluetooth. Oh.
To Israeli aggression, which brings confidence and national unity. There's a lot more unity. People who did not agree on certain political or maybe cultural issues inside a country are now all condemning Israeli attacks, and they're demanding a strong response from the government. And that's the main change that you can see in the Iranian society. But apart from that, I can tell you that for the most part, normal life is going on, and people are keeping up.
Okay, we're going to bring you more now on our breaking news. The loud explosions that have been heard over the Qatari capital, Doha, in the past.
The state of pretty much any reaction to the unipolar country in a unipolar world is just this. Like, they destroy your nuclear capacity if you even had it. They embarrass you in front of the international community and your domestic population. They completely question your sovereignty. And the only thing you can really do is these symbolic strikes on like a trash can outside of their base. Right? Because you cannot be assisted by a larger power to use you as a proxy potentially to actually hit them where it hurts, because it's still a unipolar world. If it was a multipolar world, then they would think twice, because the other guy on the other side, who is equally as strong as you're, close, almost as close as you, could help you out, and that could actually spell real damage to their international imperialist project. But in this case, yeah, it's hitting a trash can outside of the base.
Sure, what's the scope and what's the timing? I mean, how much will this continue, or it's going to be a one hit and that's it? And of course, whether this is also going to be a pretext for the United States to retaliate or to enter the war, this is something no one knows. It's just part of the analysis. Now, many analysts think that this could be a kind of a choreographed attack that is being, I mean, the Americans are informed in advance, just like in 2020 when Iran retaliated to the killing of
literally
General
that's what happened
Soleimani.
back then.
And the Iranian knowing in advance of the attack on Fordo, but these are just speculations. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen just after these attacks. And then we will know what's the posture, what's the status quo, but this is unprecedented, of course.
Of course, it is unprecedented. There was talk of Iran retaliating, as you say, against the U.S. strikes on its 3 nuclear sites in Iran. However, the U.S. warned that if it did, there would be severe retaliation in response. So many people believed that Iran might actually do an alternative retaliation, something covert, something cyber, something like closing the Strait of Hormuz. The region was on alert. The US bases in the region were on alert. But it's hard to believe that actually this was going to happen, that Iran was going to go through with escalating this conflict in the way it has.
No, everybody guessed that this was going to happen. What, they're supposed to sit with their hands in their pockets, even though, again, it's to an extent an empty gesture.
Dawn, when the nuclear facilities were attacked, and we thought that the Iranians were taking their time to consider, to calculate before retaliating. They've retaliated against Israel by hitting, by launching several barrages towards different Israeli cities yesterday and today. And now it's clear that the Iranians want to make a clear statement that they will not allow any breach to their sovereignty. But what is the cost of this, and what is going to be the ceiling for such an escalation? This is something that no one knows. We are still also waiting a political retaliation from the Iranians, the NPT exit that the parliament was discussing. And actually, this is going to be another major escalation in retaliation to the attacks. So the whole region is now on the verge of an explosion, probably.
Unprecedented has become a new least favorite word. No, none of this is unprecedented. This is literally the precedent that has been waiting to come to a peak. This has been the road we've been on. 100% correct and 100% agreed, as always, with Fern.
Just in case the United States is...
Qatari trash can hit. This is unprecedented. Yeah,
is going to deal with these attacks without practicing restraint as expected. Because in the last time when something similar happened in 2020, the Americans, the United States assassinated General Soleimani, then the Iranians retaliated by hitting the American base in Iraq, Ain al-Assad, and then things went to calm. Now, are things going to calm this time? This is a big question, especially in the middle of a war, a wide-range war that we are witnessing, probably the first in the history of this region in years. This is maybe the first major war in this region after the 2003 invasion of Iraq. And today, earlier today, we heard from President Trump hinting towards regime change, hinting without saying it clearly. But it's obvious now that
we don't need anyone to say it clearly. It is a regime change operation, and that is as obvious as possible. Is it going to be a regime change operation this month or this year or in the next 5 to 10? That's the only question you should be posing. But long term, the only sustainable future Iran has from the perspective of the United States, so sustainable for American empire, is the complete destabilization of said country. And it does not matter what you think about the current leadership, etc., etc. The point isn't to bring in somebody more progressive, open-minded, or quote-unquote democratic. The point is to turn Iran into a new Libya, okay? Long-term, at least. Now it's a game of cat and mouse, which I think is a very good allegory, because Iran is a mouse compared to the cat that is the United States. But the mouse still has to do something, otherwise it's going to be eaten today instead of tomorrow. and we'll see what the mouse ends up doing.
Strikes on the Iranian nuclear sites. That was on Saturday night. We've just been hearing from the Iranian state news agency that this was an operation that they called Annunciation of Victory, and it has been launched against U.S. bases here in Qatar.
Mother of cope, holy fucking shit.
Iraq. We're also seeing Bahrain saying that sirens there have been
Annunciation of Victory. They hit your nuclear facilities. And now you flew, okay.
Close its airspace, which remains closed now. Some 2.5 hours ago, they did that. So they were expecting some sort of attack to be launched. I want to take you back to Ali now because
I mean, I'm remaining open-minded. Maybe it's going to be big and beautiful and incredible and actually unprecedented. Maybe we see American bases in fear, running, clutching their soiled underpanties. Yeah, and I am fucking Spider-Man.
Were reported in Bahrain. So it seems that most of the American bases in the region are currently under attack or have been under attack in the past minutes, because I'm not sure whether the attack is still on.
We call it Operation I Win, You Lose. Ha ha! Which means I have won and you have indeed lost.
Is the moment we're going to hear more from the other side, from the American side, whether...
Chad, how we cook? We are de facto cooked because it's a unipolar world. International law does not exist. Rules and regulations on how conflict is conducted does not exist. Right and wrong doesn't exist. Only might exists. But might has always been the one that defines the way nation states go and come. The only problem is, in a unipolar world, you only have one country that gets to decide all of that, and not multiple spheres of power that smaller countries can utilize alliances with in order to protect themselves from other enemies, okay, other larger states.
Possible Iranian retaliation in the coming hours. I mean, clearly that was leaked news. You were getting a heads up of what was to come.
Indeed, just like a few hours ago, we got a leak that there's going to be something tonight, probably a political retaliation. And then we understood that there might be retaliation, military retaliation. So it's clear that the Iranians were considering their options over the past 24 hours, and they kept silent on what they are going to do. Of course, this day started with in midday, huge explosions in Tehran after Israeli airstrikes. The Iranian foreign minister was in Moscow meeting the Russian president. So it was clear there were several paths or parallel paths that are going on.
Same like the two parallel paths that you can take on right now. You can either watch the ad or not watch the ad. It's going to play at exactly 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Support our ancient and eternal jihad, Operation Death to Ads Now, that has been running for a year and a half at this point, by subscribing or by gifting subs to your fellow chatters, helping us reach the daily goal and making the show as sustainable as possible. Support your fellow chatter, elevate him to the true stage and elevated point of child soldier by gifting to him. Crazy hamburger! Just the way lovely Abishe has just done with the 10 gifties. And make yourself feel better, make me feel better, and make my mom proud of me, and you as well. It is not my mom or your mom, it is our mom. Thank you, Abishe, for the 10 gift subs. Everybody say thank you, Abishe. Paint the chat motherfucking purple.
I mean, these are clearly aligned with the supreme leader. As we know, in Iran, in Tehran, we've got the
anything for our mom. Thank you, Abish.
Speaks more or less with one voice, and we earlier heard the supreme leader give his first response to the U.S. strikes, promising to punish the Zionist enemy. I mean, really, the signs were there, weren't they, that Iran was not going to back down after the U.S. struck its nuclear sites?
Duh.
Well, now we are seeing another statement from Iran, one from the IRGC saying that the Dhofra base in the Emirates was also, the United Arab Emirates was attacked with Khaybar 3 missiles.
Okay.
Also, the Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council will issue a statement on Iran's missile response to the U.S. aggression in a few weeks. In a few minutes, not weeks. So we have now the statement in response to America's aggressive and brazen action against Iran's nuclear sites and facilities. A few hours ago, the powerful armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran destroyed the American airbase in Al-Udeid, Qatar. The number of missiles used in this successful operation was the same as the number of bombs used by the United States in its attack on Iran's nuclear facilities, and the base targeted in the attack by Iranian forces was far from the urban facilities and residential areas in Qatar. This action does not pose any threat to our friendly and brotherly country Qatar and its noble people, and the Islamic Republic of Iran remains committed to maintaining and continuing warm and historic relations with Qatar. Then there's another, I'm sorry, I'm just updating the statements that are arriving one after one. That the last one is that from the armed forces, this of our forces will turn any repetition of aggression into accelerating the collapse of U.S. military infrastructure in the region. So the moment the attack happened, the American attack happened on the nuclear facilities in Iran on Sunday morning, we saw the IRGC statement mentioning the issue about the American bases, saying that they're all under observation.
Okay, that is Ali Hashim joining us there from Tehran. Ali, for the moment, many thanks indeed. Well, of course.
So, chat update: multiple places, multiple American bases might have been hit. At least they've been fired upon. When it comes to the success of said military operation, we do not have the data yet. The data that we do have about the majority of these bases is that most likely they were, just run by skeleton crews after the American operation inside of Iran proper, as a means to limit potential American casualties.
Sky, it appears that these were ballistic missiles that were fired from Iran towards Qatari airspace.
Fuck you, USA. You are the worst man. You are the death maker. You are the degen. Man, why did I know how to sing it immediately, bro?
First time that its air defense systems, the Patriot missile batteries that have been stationed here, did come into test. There were multiple explosions.
Why are you running?
Iran satellites looking at American bases being slowly emptied.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Qataris closed its airspace, so giving an indication that perhaps there was forewarning of what is to come. But it appears that because the tensions had been heightened to a level, because because the Iranians had come under attack, that the Iranians have now hit these places. So it appears that it's not just Qatar, but other areas in the Middle East.
Repeat after me. La ilaha illa Allah.
That have also been targeted, and that's what we've been talking about after the U.S. attack, because it is not just the presence of U.S. military personnel and hardware in places like Qatar, but it's also in Iraq and in Syria, where they're exposed from multiple sides as well. But so far, here in Qatar, there have been no reports of casualties or damage, but it is extraordinary scenes that a lot of people come out of their homes and stopped in their cars and saw it, and it appears that now life is returning back to normal.
Yeah, that's extraordinary. We just saw some people walking behind you, Osama. Are people worried?
No, they're not fucking worried. They know that the American bases are being hit. The Iranians themselves have said that they're hitting bases that are outside of places where civilian infrastructure exists. They're keeping the safety of local Qataris in mind whenever they're doing the operation, and they're only doing the operation against the United States of America. And they love Qatar. Qatar is awesome. We love Qatar so much. That's pretty much what the Iranians said.
To realize that a majority of the population of this country...
So they're not worried. They feel liberated. No, say wa Muhammad. Peace be upon his name. You're trying to make me accept Islam. You sneaky little.
Prices of expatriates, people who come from other parts of the world to this country, and especially the news of airspace closure was concerning. But it appears that this was a temporary suspension. So far, the airspace remains closed, but we're expecting that it will be open soon. And also, because there was so much warning ahead of time, it appears that either the Iranians hinted or gave some sort of warning to the Qataris or the Americans. And this is something that we saw in the lead up to the attack on the American base, the first American base in the region, Ain al-Assad. I was in Baghdad. We were looking at all the warnings that were coming towards it. And then finally it was hit by pinpointed missiles. So it appears an exercise more sort of that in nature, but no damage or no real panic in the streets, because life here did not stop. Restaurants here are operating. I've just saw people going about their business. As these explosions were happening, there were people walking across because there was a call to prayer and people were going for their evening prayer. So yes, it is extraordinary for people in Qatar, but it's not extraordinary in the Middle East. And it appears that the worst might be over.
You say that people were going about their normal life. Of those warnings got through to other people. And were there any air raid sirens? Was there any actual warning that this was going to happen to the majority of the people in Qatar?
Well, there were no air raid sirens that we heard here in the northern part of Qatar, but there were some early warnings.
Do you think that the Qatar government was also not informed about the rockets flying in? They knew it was not a threat. And they understand that the Iranians would never fucking hit civilian targets inside of Doha, because why the fuck would they? It's a very strange line of inquiry from our journalists here.
Advice what to do. So it appears that people knew that there was something which was imminent, that something was coming, but it appears that a lot of people did not really think much about it, and life continued as normal.
It's not Qatar, it's
Qatar.
Qatar.
Went to a close-by mall. It wasn't as crowded as weekdays, but there were people there. So it appears that these warnings did get through to people, but there was no early warning system that was put into place. And it also appears that this might be an indication of the threat was not directly at either the population centers here in Qatar or towards the civilian areas, because the Al Udeid base is away from the population centers. It is secluded. It also has a Qatari military base adjoining it, and also an airstrip adjacent to it as well. So these warnings seem to have worked so far, because none of these missiles, as far as we are concerned, we haven't seen any reports yet of landing in places where they would have caused any damage to people or property.
Yeah, I was going to ask you where Al Udeid is, because, of course, when people...
U.S. personnel at embassies in Qatar and Bahrain are in duck and cover positions. U.S. personnel at the embassies in Qatar and Bahrain are in duck or cover positions as Iran launches retaliatory missiles towards Qatar and Iraq. Multiple sources familiar with the matter told CNN the protective measure is taken when there is notification of imminent danger. Missiles fired from Iran towards U.S. bases in Qatar and Iraq. The U.S. is tracking multiple missiles. This we already know, etc., etc. A senior official said earlier that White House and Defense Department officials are monitoring potential attack threats to Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. President Donald Trump toured the base last month, the first commander-in-chief to visit since 2003. Oh my God, the fucking parallels to goddamn Bush is absolutely beautiful, brother. When we said hot Bush summer, this is not what we thought. Hey, chat. It's not even funny. I can't even make it into a joke. We're such an unserious species. No visit in the Gulf would be complete without stopping to salute the people who keep America safe, strong, and free. Where is the thing? I have the thing for this. I don't think I've ever used it. Where's my thing? Come on, it's such a good thing. No, not this. Son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
No.
May Allah awaken the people and help them to see the evil doings of Israel and the United States.
This one worked really well, but I wanted a different one. See what did he do? I have so many at this point. I gotta delete most of them. This, yes, okay, so no visit in the Gulf would be complete without stopping to salute the people who keep America safe, strong, and free. Trump told the troops at the base on May 17th. Report from Qatar, 9 out of 10 missiles were intercepted successfully, and reports of casualties, exactly what we expected here on stream since the situation began. As I previously stated, in a unipolar world, the most that small to mid-sized states can hope to do when it comes to retaliation against American imperialism is to, I don't know, blow up a trash can outside of an American base. That's pretty much it. Sure, if there's a full-on invasion with some American troops, they can pop a few Americans to send back in wooden casks, but that's pretty much the limit. When you do not get help from a larger, more militarily impressive state, which in the current unipolar setup is pretty much impossible, unless China does something crazy and, I don't know, delivers 500 Dongfeng missiles to Tehran, which would be wild. Like Iran, if they want to do it, they could very willingly become a proxy for the People's Republic of China, which of course would limit their what do you want to call it? It will limit their sovereignty through soft power means, but would allow them to quote unquote get as many guns, bombs, and rockets from their future PRC ally as possible that they could use to actually do some damage towards their so-called enemy over in the U.S. Pretty much, the pitch is the Ayatollah should literally become a Chinese Zelensky right now. If I was the Ayatollah, I would be like, if I was the Ayatollah, I would be like this. Okay, this is the Ayatollah. This should be the Ayatollah, okay? But instead of, it's Xi Jinping instead of Biden. It's Xi Jinping instead of Biden. It's the Ayatollah instead of Zelensky. And instead of the children in Donetsk, it's the American children in U.S. bases, okay?
Hello, Biden. It's Zelensky. We need 5 billion rockets to bomb Donetsk children. Slava Ukraine.
Slava Iranu, okay? We need an Iranian Zelensky. That's what we need. I'm only semi-joking, to be honest. That's pretty much their only option. Or hope that, I don't know, Trump will get bored with this, like he gets bored with absolutely everything, and not properly do a regime change. But did you say thank you?
In the streets, threatening to attack U.S. bases, and also calling on the Iraqi government to put pressure on the U.S. not to allow Israel to use Iraqi airspace to carry out airstrikes inside Iran.
Yeah, you're really gonna like force the Iraqis not to do that with 9 out of 10 of your rockets not even hitting the targets, bro.
Well, yes, indeed. As you know, that these troops and the military bases, the U.S. military bases across Iraq, they have been operating by virtue of what is so-called the strategic dialogue between the United States and the Iraqi government. What we have now in Iraq is
what he's saying is the Americans said we're going to build a base here. You can complain and we will shoot you in the back of the head. Or you can let us build a base and we'll say that it's cooperation. Is that fine enough? Okay.
Combat ISIS in Iraq. But at the same time, we have been witnessing opposition from Iran-aligned armed groups, also demanding that all foreign troops, and on top of them, U.S. and international coalition forces, to leave Iraq. In fact, they call them the occupation forces. As you know, that these military bases, U.S. military bases, have been receiving hundreds of attacks from Iran-aligned armed groups over the past 2 years. You know that there have been attacks and counterattacks. These armed groups have been attacking U.S. military bases in Iraq, and the headquarters in Iraq have been also receiving.
But this was agreed upon to save Iranian face, just like the Soleimani retaliation. My guess is that the war will end after this by Russian mediation. There is a chance for everything that you're saying. I would be surprised if the Iranians don't push this at least a little bit further, because at this point, unironically, the more patriotic Iranian populace is going to be like, seriously, this is all. This is all, okay? This is all. That's number one. And number two, nobody will take Iran seriously anymore. They've already pretty much cut off the head of its military apparatus. They've cut off the head and the major leadership of Hezbollah, its paramilitary apparatus. They've hit their main nuclear facilities, right? They've painted them as the true warmongers of the Middle East instead of Israel. I mean, don't come to my stream for cope. I'm never going to give you cope, okay? For now, this is like masterclass shit. Not on Iran's side. Not on Iran's side at all. For now, it's masterclass shit on the side of empire. Okay? Pure masterclass shit. But will the empire push for a complete regime change and massive destabilization of the region? Yes or no? That is the question. We do not know.
Base was attacked, according to Iranian media today. But as you know, that the U.S. military individuals in Iraq and U.S. Military bases in Iraq, as you know, that the Iraqi government is obliged, as they say, is obliged to protect these military bases by virtue
of we will fucking kill you the way we killed you for the last 15 fucking years, okay? Iraq is indirectly still an occupied country. If you don't know this, I don't know what bridge you've been living under.
Iraqi forces, and to help the Iraqi government combat or fight ISIS. So we can say that this is an embarrassing situation for the Iraqi government if these troops or these U.S. military bases come under attack by Iran or by Iranian aligned armed groups in Iraq. Because as you know, that the strategic dialogue, this is the military agreement between the Iraqi government.
Same like the military agreement between me and my chatters to always donate child soldiers, which are chatters that become subscribers whenever there is a threat on the sovereignty of our stream, also known as advertising, okay? They bomb our humor facilities and destroy our information capabilities by playing and telling you to buy stupid commodities you don't need. So subscribe right now, and for every gift sub, Iran receives a new Dongfang missile, okay? The opposite is the great Satan throwing ads at you about how you should eat another sodium-rich burger, which nobody wants, okay? So join the great jihad against advertising for $6 a month for free through Prime. If you have Prime and you have not subscribed, what the actual helly? Like, do you not respect me so much? Do you not respect me so goddamn much? Oh, yeah, that was the pitch. Every subscription is a Dongfang missile for Iran. Let's see how many they get in the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds before the ad plays. Thank you, chatters.
The right to
there we go. We got another Dongfang missile.
Delivered to Tehran.
Respond. Let's
What
bring
the hell?
Mohamed Saloom in. He's assistant professor in critical security studies at the Doha Institute for Graduate Studies. So you are also here in Qatar with us. First of all, what was your experience of these strikes as they came over about an hour ago now?
Xi Jinping himself comes into chat and donates another Dongfeng missile to Iran. We're getting at 51% of today's goal. I'm very proud of you, Chad. Thank you very much. Come, let's keep going.
The air defenses did a great job, and also other Qatari air defenses. And we were looking at that outside. I think the significance of this attack.
Oh my God, the cucks. Yo, Qatari cucks. I mean, it starts with K. Holy shit. He's saying that the Qatari air defense shit protected the American base. So you spend your own money to defend an American base. Tax-paying Qatari citizens saving yet another American base. Big G shit, man. Holy fuck.
But now
Qatar.
this is going way beyond Iraq and attacking a third country like Qatar, which houses the base. The base, by the way, does not have only U.S. troops. It has also Qatari troops. But fortunately, and according to the statement coming from the spokesperson, this base has already been evacuated. My immediate assessment is that Iran has already informed the U.S. and probably the Qatari sides about this incoming attack. And probably this looks like the previous attack that was in response to the assassination of Qasem Soleimani.
Every analyst at this point has been agreeing with this particular take, that it just Iran doing domestic politics at the end of the day. That's it. They want to show a strong fist to their populace in the way they're reacting to the great Satan, which I don't think will work this time, my dear Supreme Leader Ayatollah, because you did the same fucking thing last time when they killed your greatest national hero who was still alive, okay? So, guys, come, like, we gotta be more serious in this.
This is for the missiles.
Thank you, Xi Jinping, for the $5, and thank you, Xi Jinping, for another missile. Holy shit, we got 4 missiles. 4 missiles before the ad starts. I think we could get at least 6 missiles. Let's go. Dongfeng missiles for Iran.
10 years. They're saying we're targeting units.
I guess Iran really ran, if you know what I mean.
The statements coming from the Iranians, but I would expect that they would say that some of the bases in the region were part of the attack on Fordo and other cities, on Isfahan and other nuclear sites by the U.S. And they would say that this is a response because we cannot reach the U.S. And so we are trying to send a warning shot or shots to the Americans so that they don't attack us because their bases are very close by and we could inflict serious harm.
I mean, they may say that they were targeting.
Well, that's pretty much it. And I don't know why she's saying they may say. The Iranian government, right as it sent out its missiles, very openly stated it has nothing against Qatar or Qatari citizens or the nation and state and government of Qatar. They are hitting these particular targets because they're the only targets that they can pretty much hit. They can't hit the United States proper. So this is what their retaliation pretty much entails, which is something we talk about here on the channel all the fucking time. To repeat myself for the 3rd time this stream, if you're a small to mid-sized country, you can't do shit if the only unipolar power on planet Earth comes and takes a shit on your fucking doorstep, okay? You can just LARP, which is what the Iranians are doing right now.
Same spokesperson at the end of the statement, the written statement I have seen already.
But that does not mean that Iran is necessarily cooked. I'm not saying that Iran is cooked, okay? I'm just saying that Iran can't really do much about its future destiny at the current moment. Because all of the infrastructure that they did have, Hezbollah, their own personal military, and a potential nuclear program, okay, all of that has already been cooked, either by Israel or the United States, but in most cases in combined military, tactical, and intelligence efforts. Now they have, gesturing and so on. And potentially, if there is an open invasion of the country, a united Iranian front that pushes back the invasion and then further entrenches the current government, etc., etc., etc. Now the game, to an extent, unironically, is domestic Iranian politics and how coherent their society is on understanding that very, very important point, that they gotta support the current Iranian status quo, whatever it is like, because alternatively everything's gonna go to fucking hell. But also the Iranian government itself as well needs to loosen up when it comes to its status quo in order to concentrate on a foreign enemy and not domestic disagreements. Where most evidence points towards that having happened. Like, Iranian society is now as united as it probably ever been because of the foreign threat. How the Americans play potential regime change is what we gotta sit and wait for. And I'll say this for 100th time. The long-term play for the United States in Iran is regime change and complete destabilization of the way of Libya, or complete pacification of the way of, I don't know, Dubai or Syria in a more radical case. How they do it and when they do it is a question, and if they will be able to do it. And whether they're going to be able to do it is going to depend on how strong the Iranian state is when it comes to combating regime change domestically. Thank you, Xi Jinping, one more time, and thank you, Goosted RS, for the 5 gift subs. Let's go! So many Dongfang missiles for Iran right now. God fucking damn it, baby.
For joining us.
Thank you.
Iran's Revolutionary Guards Corps has released a statement following the attacks in Doha. It says it launched a powerful and devastating missile attack on the Al Udeid air base in Qatar. Now, this base serves as the command center of the U.S. Air Force and is the largest strategic asset of the American terrorist army in West Asia. Well, Qatar's Ministry of Defense has released a statement following the Iranian strike on that U.S. base. Qatar is saying that its air defenses intercepted a salvo of missiles targeting the Al Udeid air base. It continued saying the incident did not result in any deaths nor in any injuries. The ministry says Qatar's airspace and territory are safe. Well, joining us now from northern Doha is our correspondent, Dorsa Jabari. Dorsa, you are also out on the streets of Doha. Tell us what the situation is there some hour now after we heard those explosions.
Well, Laura,
thank you, Barry. I love you, Barry.
Well, it was quite a shock for the local population here when they heard those sounds of explosions over the Doha skies.
I swear, Iran is like... is anime popular in Iran? It probably is. The Iran Foreign Ministry is anime as fuck. Like, it is so fucking anime as fuck. The great Satan has been defeated in their own game. We play 6 steps ahead of their 3 steps. We have proven to them that Iran stands strong and untouchable in front of their aggression. Through Operation Destruction of Evil Dragon. I love entire countries, Zenko. It's so sad.
Then the Qatar International Airport, the Hamid International Airport, announcing the closure of its airspace temporarily. And then it was pretty much evident that there was an attack looming. What we have also heard from the Qatari Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Majid Al-Ansari.
Our attack was powerful and devastating. Wait, I gotta reread it with... Where is it? Wait, okay, 1 second. Death Note soundtrack. But which theme song should I go with? This one or Ryuk's. The Ministry of Defense announced that Qatari air defenses... Oh no, that's the Ministry of Defense. Go back. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps launched a powerful and devastating missile attack on the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. This base serves as the command center of the U.S. Air Force and is the largest strategic asset of the American terrorist army in West Asia, etc., etc.
Our viewers, that in the top corner of our screens now, we're seeing debris that has fallen from one of those interceptions. Now, we're not quite sure where...
Holy shit, chat. Debris has... the United States of America has successfully hit 3 nuclear facilities. The other side, we can see some debris from the rockets that were intercepted. Oh, God, I hate the unipolar world so much.
Not necessarily only because of the impact they might have if they're not intercepted, but from falling shrapnel. And here we are seeing exactly that in Qatar.
Thank you, Heikachiro, very much, Ka.
Yes, I think initially people did not know what to do, and then there were guidances provided. The first thing people were told was to take shelter in the metro stations here or underground parking facilities, which there
Friend,
is...
you to challenge the true Iran bombed U.S. military bases this morning. Yes, at least it attempted to, my friend, literally a couple of hours ago. But we are covering the news live right now about what is happening. Also, welcome to the community, friend.
But of course, these were very traumatic scenes for the majority of people. Qatar is home to about 2.5 million people, and in Doha, about 700,000 people call it home. So it is a significant number, and this seriously disrupted the quiet that has been part of the daily life of most.
So not the most important thing in the world, but I just checked to see if Iran has qualified for the 2026 World Cup, and they haven't. Wonder if they'll be allowed in the U.S. That's a crazy question. That's a crazy question, and I actually would really like to know the answer to that crazy question. When two countries are in indirect war with each other and one of them is hosting a sports event, does the team of the other country still get let in to the international sports event that is being hosted in one of the countries that are party to said conflict? That is a great question. That is an actually interesting question. Thank you, chatter.
Then I heard, so I was outside and I heard the sounds first, and then I felt the ground shake under me, and I knew that the attack had happened and it had started. And I heard at least 4 explosions in the skies. And then it was very difficult for people to understand what was happening. People around me were asking me what's going on, what.
Chatter is asking me about some food. Does it look good? What is the verdict, chat? Yes or no? It looks good to me with some bread. What is it? I made this really nice Turkish eggs called çilbir with good tea and salmon. Can you check it out? There's salmon in there as well. It's wild, but isn't there like a milk product? It looks great. You dip the bread, you eat it with the bread. What the fuck? Was one of my lights... Look, one of my lights is dying. What the helly? What the helly? Man, this is what happens when I can't even reach my daily sub goals. I can't afford fucking light bulbs. Look at what the fuck is happening. The fucking thing is vibrating. It's fucking great. Like I'm gonna ADHD so hard out of fucking here. Hey! Chill the fuck out, okay? Later. I'll exchange you later. God damn it. Can't even have light bulbs that work for a couple of years in this goddamn late stage goddamn capitalism, brother. Back in my day, they used to make light bulbs that worked for eternity. Now these goddamn capitalists be creating light bulbs that be breaking all the time.
Airspace, and Syria has its main airbase there in Syria is on high alert, as are air bases in Iraq. We don't know what the next step is going to be. What we do know...
Actually true, planned obsolescence. Yes, I made a whole video on it, I know.
though,
Leftist lightning. Motherfucker. You piece of shit. Okay, that was pretty funny.
that the sense of security that Qatar enjoyed.
There was a legit light bulb conspiracy in the 1920s. Probably the reason you know about this is because I made the fucking video on it. I'm not even kidding. And then another guy copied my fucking video, and it ended up having like 15 million views. I'm not even fucking joking. I made the video about planned obsolescence like fucking 4 years ago. And then another guy that's fucking huge literally made the same video, but obviously with a budget of $50,000. And that shit ended up exploding. And now everybody knows about the stockings and about the light bulbs and about the East German like DDR refrigerators versus West German refrigerators that had planned obsolescence, but the other ones didn't have planned obsolescence, okay?
2.5 million people, the 700.
Yes, Veritasium. Absolutely. Veritasium unironically made that video like a month after I made mine, I think. Some shit.
1,000 people in Doha, many of them expats.
I'm kidding. Obviously, it wasn't copied. It was just coincidence. I just, I love when chatters come in here teaching me about shit that I probably taught them about. Okay? You're not out-professoring the professor.
From around the world, the sense of security that they enjoyed here has been shattered.
That's right, Laura. This is the first time this country has ever come under this kind of an attack, and certainly people here had never experienced this kind of environment. Some have, though. I have spoken to
Jesus, Al Jazeera, we get it. You are owned by Qatar, like they are. Like Al Jazeera is owned by Sheikh Hamad bin Tarmer Al Thani, who serves as the chairman of the board. While it's considered an independent broadcaster, it receives significant funding from the Qatari government. Duh, everybody fucking knew this, okay? Stop making it about like 12 Qataris that were awake today and saw some fucking lights in the sky. And there was a little bit of debris that fell on the ground, okay? There's much bigger and more important things at play here.
Telling the citizens to shelter in place, so they did know that this was going to happen.
Yes, clearly, this was a coordinated attack meant to deliver a message. And I think the Qataris, who have had very close diplomatic relationship with Iran, were the obvious choice for the Iranians. They have
it has nothing to do with Qatar.
Even during negotiations in the past between Iran and the United States, it is usually either the state of Qatar or Oman that delivers the messages from Tehran to Washington. So clearly, they trust the Qataris, and this was seen as an effort to really minimize the damage and impact of this attack. So Qatar was the chosen place for.
Yeah, so that the Iranians can also tell the soldiers to get the fuck out of the bases so that nobody by accident like fucking trips and dies while they're running away from the rockets that are never actually going to make any contact with the bases. So that they can domestically tell their own audience, their voting body or whatever the fuck you want to call it over in Iran, that, we showed the great Satan just how badass we are, etc., and manufacture their own type of consent. It's understandable. They can't do anything else. I'm not even doing Iran criticism here. Like, what else do they have as a fucking option? Because they don't have Dongfeng missiles. That's why China, you should do a really funny thing. Like right now, do a funny thing.
On the US base, Qatar says its air defenses intercepted a salvo of missiles targeting the Al Udeid airbase. It continued saying the incident did not result in any deaths or injuries. Now, the ministry says Qatar's airspace and territory are safe. Well, just a short while ago, Qatar's foreign...
Xi Jinping, I want 100 million rockets to destroy the children of Tel Aviv. We will pay you back the money, Xi Jinping.
This was my interpretation of what the Ayatollah would sound like asking Xi Jinping for money in Zelensky style, okay?
Ministry spokesman Majid of the U.S. Air Force and is the largest strategic asset of the American terrorist army.
Thank you, Xi Jinping, for the anonymous gifts up. Thank you very much.
To the White House now, where we can join our correspondent.
Thank you, Sovakushin. Iranian Zelensky, thanks you. Many rockets for our people. We must destroy Tel Aviv with rockets from China.
Situation room of the White House. Initially, his national security briefing had been slated for the Oval Office, but that has since been moved given the fact that
yo, let's hear our boy, our big thick boy. What is my boy gonna say?
Qatar and
Zelatola.
What we know,
the Zelatola is asking for money. He did not say thank you even once. The CCP requires at least one thank you. The Zelatola has not. Hey Zelatola, you ever heard about a suit? When you come to the CCP headquarters in Beijing, to the great halls of the people, you must wear a suit, not your Ayatollah clothes.
Was able to alert civilians and the personnel at Al Udeid so that it could, in fact,
thank you very much, Sofa Cushion, for the 16 months, by the way.
Diverting flights and minimizing the casualties that are there. Now, it is important to note that, as you've mentioned, that the Al Udeid is, for the United States, the headquarters for the Central Command. It is the largest installation in the region. There are in excess of 10,000 troops there. And we also know that it was expected as a target. The United States, even before there was this coordination.
Ungrateful Zelatola coming in here with a robe.
In advance that there had been movement of most of the aircraft that was located at Al Udeid. It was moved in advance, given the fact that the United States expected that it was possible there could be a target. Now, the reason for this is because we know that any sort of firing from Iran, according to military officials here, cruise missiles or ballistic missiles would only take minutes to get to Qatar from Iran. And so out of an abundance of caution, that is what was done. As well, we know that there's the possibility of swarming drones. But so far, we've not had reports of that. Instead, what reports we are getting here at the White House is that the attack by the Iranians on the airbase is seemed to be designed to match similar to what the United States did in its attack in the number of missiles that were used. In other words, what's already being observed here in Washington is that this may be looking more like a symbolic attack than by one designed to inflict harm. And the reason for this, again, is because not only was it expected, it was coordinated and seemed to have the markings of being very similar in nature. Now, we should point out as well that the United States president has said that he said just one day ago in a social media post, any retaliation by Iran against the United States will be met with force far greater than the initial U.S. strikes. So this is definitely an escalation. The U.S. president had cautioned against Iran taking this action.
But it's not a tit for tat in a unipolar world. It's both of the tits for a part of a birthmark on one of the tits. That's a unipolar superpower fighting a regular country. Okay.
Implementing and coordinating many of the proxy groups in the region, that Iran vowed harsh revenge, but at the same time also did retaliate for that assassination. So again, the United States was expecting, based on the past precedent, that there would be a response from Iran, one that we now know has been unfolding.
Indeed, we do. We obviously don't know whether that attack has finished or not. We are seeing Bahrain and just in the last few minutes, Kuwait shutting down their airspaces temporarily until further notice.
This airspace is shut down. You may not pass, ma'am.
I mean, as you say, Kimberly,
do you have
the
your
US was
airspace
made
pass,
aware
ma'am?
in advance of this attack, as was Qatar. So given that you are saying that it could be considered a symbolic attack,
because
a
it is
contained attack, as Iran responded after the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, should we expect Trump to further escalate again?
Yes, we should.
we have to take the president's words at face value, but we also
Though it
know
depends
that
on
the US
what they
president
talked
heavily
about in the
influenced
background, but Trump has said that
just
if
spoken
they
to,
retaliate to their retaliation, which was a retaliation on their retaliation, then he's going to retaliate to their retaliation to their
the
retaliation.
United States will respond. If the president
I love being non-binary and autistic. I can't get drafted to serve in the U.S. military. One of the big pluses. You're now officially a privileged category, my friend.
goes with his word, and he has reiterated this on multiple occasions, there will be another response by the United States that will be even greater in force than the initial strikes that the United States took on those 3 nuclear sites in Iran just a couple of days ago. Having said that, there are reports already that as part of a precaution in terms of trying to defend the bases that are currently being considered vulnerable, in addition to the one in Qatar, we know that there have been reports of U.S. jets being scrambled in Saudi Arabia, mobilizing for possible attacks in locations like Syria, in Kuwait, as well as we have been reporting the concerns in Iraq. So this is certainly something that is unfolding. We're still working to get more information from the White House. It says it has no updates at this time, but we do know right now that the highest security officials in the United States are all huddled in the Situation Room of the White House, not far from
They're all pretty much asleep or some shit.
and deciding what steps to take next.
Okay, Kimberly will be keeping a very close eye on anything coming out of the White House and indeed from Washington, D.C. For the moment, many thanks indeed. Let's now bring in Marwan Bashara. He's Al Jazeera's senior political analyst. He joins us from Paris. So, Marwan, the conversation since...
How do you think the U.S. will escalate? We don't know if they will. At what point does Iran decide it's not going to be so restrained? If they start doing more active intelligence and paramilitary operations in Iran proper, because that's the main thing that Iran believes it needs to defend the current government and its current state. Do you think Russia or China will provide any material support? Russia, no. China, maybe, like 5% chance if it wants to do something really funny. The Russian Federation will not, because it does not have the ability to do so, even if it wanted to, due to its constraints on the Ukrainian front, and because of its very strange but still strong relationship with Israel. So yeah. China maybe, if it wants to do something crazy. Or the DPRK, that would be okay. Now we're entering movies, but yeah.
2 years ago, almost. It's setting a lot of precedents. A lot of precedents in the region, a lot of precedents in international relations, a lot of precedents in as far as American, Israeli, Middle Eastern relations and conflict. Some of it is very reminiscent of things 20 years earlier, 22 years earlier.
As we watch the world slowly get enveloped in flame, we must look on and look on. Our gaze must be directly locked on the fires that rise around us. And not on fucking ads, like the ad that is going to play in exactly 1 minute. So become a motherfucking subscriber or gift to your fellow chatters and fully embrace the last moments of your existence instead of spending them on goddamn commodity advertising. Thank you very much for your consideration. Now, that was a 10 out of 10 right there.
Fact is that one indicted criminal is taking the entire region to the unknown. The way Netanyahu has been manipulating the American administration, the way he chose to attack Iran when it was basically defenseless after an earlier attack on its air defenses, the way he wants to put the region on notice. He wants a regime change. He wants to terrorize.
We must do a regime change on the advertising, and the regime that will come after the advertising is kicked out is nothing.
A number of other regimes, if need be. All of these are precedents, and all of these have started with Netanyahu, and we really don't know that the war he started will ever end or when it will ever end.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What happens next?
Arguably will never end as long as Israel continues to exist in its current settler colonial form, because That's how settler colonialism works. You must exterminate or completely pacify any opposition to your apartheid regime if you want it to continue on its path towards the eventual complete annihilation of the ethnic category inside of your settler colony, which you deem to be problematic. But funnily enough, probably after that settler colonial goal is finished, they just find another settler colonial goal like territorial expansion and more quotations of holy books as a means to exact more and more violence on their direct neighbors or the entirety of the world.
Mission accomplished. This is the thing about this misunderstanding, this selective memory, this ahistorical view of Middle East and Middle East conflicts and wars, that everyone seems to think that, you know, they are and they will be the first to do this and that and the other. We've seen it before, and we've seen how it has a ramification, and we see one war leading to another war, and so this continues, and it will probably expand. And now Trump has no choice.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see what the chatter sent in.
Here's what the US media is not telling you about Iran. In March 2025, Iran publicly confirmed that it had found 7,000 tons of high-purity antimony in one of its central regions. Antimony is a critical mineral, especially if you like bombs. It's used in military-grade alloys, semiconductors, armor-piercing rounds, and in plasma and hypersonic tech. It is also vital for solid-state batteries and quantum computing. Global supply chains of antimony are dominated by China, and China has been making moves to restrict export of these key minerals. High-level trade negotiations between the US and China took place in London in June. China's been explicit during those talks. They refused easing restrictions on any exports that were connected to the US defense industry. Specifically, defense contracting. They don't agree with private war. And they told the US unequivocally, these mineral exports are off the table. You are not allowed to use our minerals in your weapons. The US envoys left London empty-handed, and Beijing tightened controls the next day. The Western media frames those talks as progress on climate cooperation? No. The key issue was minerals, and China held the line. The US is running out of mineral leverage. If China won't sell to the West, and Iran is closely aligned with BRICS, the US doesn't have very many options left. They can keep trying to dominate new sources geopolitically, or they can try to extract domestically, or they could turn the machine off. Antimony is a gatekeeper resource. It is critical for future tech and war. Iran has something that the US desperately wants, but cannot openly negotiate for.
Probably one of the main reasons why they went in.
China's control of antimony creates a mineral axis outside of Western control. The public reason cited for bombing Iran this weekend is to stop them from going nuclear. The truth is, the West is running out of sources. Iran holds a critical mineral that cannot be easily sanctioned or replaced. BRICS is already discussing critical mineral cooperation. This includes resource for tech swaps. So the
Thank you, Pizza Famine. So this is where you can find antimony. At least right now. But I guess they found some new ones in good old Iran.
Cobalt that the Congo has and the antimony that Iran has. They will make a deal between the two of them on the best way to price and share and sell those resources, while Uncle Sam is told to step back. Multiple Western intelligence assessments confirm that there is zero evidence of any attempt at developing a nuclear weapon by Iran. It's actually just not something that's of interest to them because they're not suicidal. Iran's leadership has invited further inspection. The nuclear excuse is a smokescreen. The strikes were
Even if they were developing nuclear missiles, that's their perfect right as a sovereign state that has a genocidal, psychotic neighbor that does have nukes.
As a strategic supplier on the global market. Minerals like antimony are not valuable because they're building hospitals or repairing infrastructure, or they're just valuable because they make better missiles. More.
Thank you.
From the Iranian side about what was fired, how long it took to arrive here, and all the details that you know from there.
Well, for now, what we know is that there's a number of missiles that was launched from Iran, from the western coast of Iran towards the Al Udeid base in Qatar, the United States Army base. And some of the rockets or the missiles were intercepted by the air defenses. This was within the news context, whereas the United States attacked the Iranian nuclear facilities on Sunday morning, and Iran vowed to retaliate, and it has started its retaliation. Now, we don't know if the retaliation is going to continue, or this is the ceiling of it. Now, given the fact we have just come after this moment that everybody was anticipating, the big question now is has this come to an end? And would President Trump decide to end this episode or continue with retaliating to the Iranian attack? These are big questions because this is a turning point. These are crossroads, whereas many things could happen if this
indeed many things can happen.
Will end this episode, and the United States is again outside this war, because
for Iran this episode will never end. They can potentially postpone it. The long-term goals of the United States, whose foreign ministry, if we can call it that, whose foreign policy on war is always the same, doesn't matter which president is in office or not, has long planned to turn Iran into either an allied nation through a successful coup or a non-existent, so-called banana republic, as I like to call them, country like Libya that is completely torn in eternal civil war. So when it comes to the Iranian response, the question is, do they keep postponing the eventual chaos, or do they start reacting right now? That is at least how most people phrase it, and that's half of the truth. When it comes to regime change in Iran, it pretty much completely depends on the strength of the political project inside of Iran proper. So it is, at the end of the day, a waiting game until the U.S. completely dedicates itself to a regime change operation in Iran proper. And whether Iran will be able to survive that or not will depend on that very particular situation. Now it's a classic game of whose dick is bigger and who can save more face in the eyes of their domestic, political body. AKA, heard their look, we damaged them, they damaged us, we're still strong. How long that will last for is a big question, though.
Here in Doha, he's in the north of the city. First of all, it was an hour and a half ago that these attacks happened. Where were you, Osama, and what was your experience of them?
Well, I was right here in the street when I first saw the flashes, and just beyond the horizon there, we saw those projectiles rising. So behind me, you can say geographically.
On a side note, this fit goes hard. My fit, it's whenever I cover war, I LARP by putting this shit on because I find it to be funny. We need to laugh at moments like these and in moments like these, because who knows how long we will be able to keep our privilege of not living in a war zone alive for. So maximize those periods by turning into a semi-content goon machine, if you wanted to call it that. Because you won't be able to do it when you're in the fucking front lines, my beautiful chatters.
Some sort of communication or indication that this will be coming Qatar's way.
Thanks to your subscriptions, though, I'll make sure I'm somewhere in Switzerland still streaming in your left ear as you're getting pummeled by HIMARS rockets in your underground bunkers.
Have objected to this airspace violation as infringement of their sovereignty, and they reserve the right to respond as well. So it was extraordinary to hear this in Qatar. You cover war zones, you go to places where there are active fronts, but here in this country, apart from the occasional firework, you'd never hear anything go off.
Absolutely, and I can confer with that. Having lived here for 13 years, I've never known anything like this to happen here in Qatar. You said that the Qataris got forewarning. We saw the
who will think of
airspace
Qatar?
shut down. We got messages from embassies to shelter in place. But what warning
No, not
people
Qatar!
on the streets get? Were there any air raid sirens? Because, of course, there aren't any shelters or anything in Qatar. People simply would not have expected this attack to happen.
That is the case, because if you've lived in this country, if you visited this country, one sense that you get is safety and security, and that was something that took people by surprise. Because yes, there were no air raid sirens or shelters that have been provided, because there's certainly no expectation that any country would attack Qatar, because it's positioned itself sort of the Switzerland of the region, where it has brokered deals and talks between various parts of this region. So it directly does not pose a threat to any country. But what we
have some pictures, I think, that we can run now of shrapnel that fell from one of the interceptions somewhere in Qatar. We're not entirely sure of where this is, but it's an extraordinary large piece of metal there that has fallen on the ground. I mean, this is typical, isn't it, of intercepted
Holy shit, not the metal, chat.
when we have been talking about them in Israel, and this is one of the reasons that people need to be warned. Apologies, we seem to have lost the line to Osama bin Javed. But there you can see the pictures of the shrapnel. We're going to try and get some more information on that and where exactly it fell. Let's now go to our White House correspondent, Kimberly Halkett. Kimberly, we know that Trump is in the Situation Room with his members of his administration, of his cabinet. Are you hearing anything from the White House or the Pentagon at this stage?
Yes, that's right. We do have a statement from the Pentagon, and it is essentially saying that on background from a defense official, I can confirm the Al Udeid Air Base was attacked by short-range and medium-range ballistic missiles originating from Iran today. At this time, there are no reports of U.S. casualties. We are monitoring the situation closely and will provide more information as it becomes available. I can tell you that it's not just the Pentagon monitoring this. From the Pentagon is the chair of the Joint Chiefs, Kane. He is here along with the Secretary of Defense and the president's expanded national security team. They are in the Situation Room and have been for
The Situation Room. I love American pageantry. It's my favorite pageantry.
To have a intel briefing at 17 GMT, but what we know is that the meeting may
I'm waiting for now. Watch this drive. That would be so on character. That would be crazy. When we said Bush summer, we didn't expect this.
Would be taking place. It is being reported here, and we can confirm from our sources that, in fact, there was some advance notice that was given through diplomatic channels by Iran, and all indications are right now that the attack is limited to the Al Udeid Air Base. But again, these are just the preliminary reports. Now, in terms of the damage, what we've heard from the Pentagon there is that there have been no casualties. Also, what we're hearing is that there are no reports of initial damage because, according to defense officials, that the American Patriot missile defense systems were activated at Al Udeid and were able
You're so Zoomer coded. What the fuck tells you I'm not a Zoomer? For fuck's sakes, guys. Why the fuck? Like, I am wearing a literal mask. I could be 12 years old. I could be 8 years old. I could be Generation Alpha. I could be a literal toddler. You would not be able to guess because of this mask, okay?
Our sources are telling us that there was an evacuation of most of the personnel, but also of the military hardware. In other words, a lot of the aircraft was several weeks ago moved from Al Udeid in order to ensure that if there were any short or medium-range missiles, in other words, cruise or ballistic missiles fired from Iran, which would take just minutes.
Can't wait for Trump to say, we only use our huge missiles, the biggest missiles. Nobody has longer, thicker, more beautiful, sleek missiles. They're not curved or anything. It's also normal to be curved, but ours aren't curved. They're huge. They're thick. The Iranian missiles, they're all curved. They're weird. They're Iranian. Who the fuck wants to see an Iranian missile? What the fuck? I was doing an allegory between missiles and cocks and my stream L's. What the fuck? What the helly? What the helly? Thank you for staying strong. Thank you for staying strong. Do not move. Do not move. Hold on, Jan. Hold on, Jan. Hold on. So yeah, I can't wait for Trump to be like, our missiles, the largest missiles. We sent the biggest bunker buster missiles, very thick, very long, very sleek, to Iran, and they responded like weaklings with tiny, small, or medium-sized Iranian missiles. Nobody wanted to see those missiles. Who wants to see an Iranian missile? Have we ever even seen an Iranian missile? Okay. They were very weak. They could do nothing to our bases. Those small Iranian missiles, so small. When those missiles came close to our bases, we said, "Is it even in yet? Is it even in yet?" Well, our rockets, when they hit, you feel it. It goes straight through the walls. Okay, the nuclear bases go Okay, our rockets big. Their rockets small. We have the biggest rockets. Those goddamn gay Iranian missiles got fucking can't even hit straight, if you know what I mean, brother. Our beautiful, beautiful, voluptuous missiles bases said no to those small, crooked Iranian rockets. I can confirm that Al Udeid air base was attacked by short-range and medium-range some very small ballistic missiles originating from Iran today. At this time, there are no reports of U.S. casualties. They didn't even get in. We are monitoring the situation. Okay, the same way we are monitoring the ads that would play if we were not an adless channel in exactly 3 minutes and 30 seconds. If you want to support the biggest missiles havers, okay, my chat, do consider oiling me up and gifting them some beautiful subscriptions. Make sure their large, thick, beautiful rockets are nice and oiled up so that they can be deployed in the name of our beautiful chat, okay? Do not give any money to the other streamers. They have smaller rockets than my chatters, okay? My chatters deserve all the oil because of their large, beautiful rockets. Not like other chats where the rockets are very medium-sized and unimpressive and sometimes even Iranian. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see an Iranian missile. Okay, I'm stopping it now. You've never seen a response like this. Nobody has ever seen a response like what we did. We are big and strong while Iran is small, backwards nation. The rockets are small and inaccurate. Our rockets are big and precise. You could strike an ant from 3,000 miles away. Biden could never do anything like this. Biden was such a loser. He never bombed Iran. I did. Subscribing to YugopnikTwitch is a stronger defense than the Iron Dome. Fuck that, give me money. My rocket is massive, but kept in my drawers. Oh no, you're one of us. You're one of us. We share chat. Okay? Chat's missile is so big, they need to be shared amongst everyone. I swear to God, Freud drops one fucking theory and we're still fucking... We're quoting it at the eve of World War III right now. It's all about phallic objects, isn't it, chat? Rockets, penetration of bases. All about phallic fucking objects. You see the rockets are flying in between tall skyscrapers, which are also phallic objects. It's a bunch of countries literally doing dick measuring, and Iran said, oh, I'm going to have a really big one, also known as a nuclear bomb, and the US said, no, only certain countries can only have really big ones. I will now do some real damage to you because you cannot have a really big one, only we can have a really big one.
He joins us live from Doha. And
this is the type of content you subscribe for, okay?
We've been speaking at length over the last few days, the last week during this conflict between Israel and Iran about the situation in the Middle East. So you're well placed to analyze the current situation now. But first of all, I just want to get a personal note from you. You are here in Doha as well. What was your experience of the missile strike that happened about an hour, two hours ago now?
I live about 30 kilometers from the U.S. base, and we heard massive booms. The building shook, the windows shook, and
can I get a boom?
The flying lights, and there were people. I live in one of the many gated communities here called compounds that many expatriates live in, and neighbors were running, many were scared. I saw many people crying, and for the first time in 18 years of living in Qatar, I heard sirens go off. And so I think it's fair to say that there was a fair amount of
oh my god, he posted 8 minutes ago, I believe. Yeah, he posted 8 minutes ago. Holy shit. Holy shit.
May Allah awaken the people.
The sites that we hit in Iran were totally destroyed, and everyone knows it. Only the fake news would say anything different in order to try and demean as much as possible. And even they say they were pretty well destroyed. Working especially hard on this falsehood is Alison Cooper of Fake News, CNN, Don Brian L. Roberts, chairman of Concast, Johnny Carl of ABC Fake News. He's like, this is a list. Kill these people. Murder all of these people's families, please. Johnny Carl of ABC Fake News, and always the losers of, again, Concast, NBC Fake News. It never ends with the sleazebags in the media, and that's why their ratings are at an all-time low, zero credibility. Crazy shit. But talk about the Iran attack. Come on, bro. You still got it. You're so petty. Fake news. It's all fake news, motherfucker. Motherfucker, I'm gonna fake your news. News, news, news. Okay, back to Al Jazeera.
As you say, Qatar is one of the few friends that Iran has in the Arab world. Qatar now saying it is...
Yes, and Qatar said this has nothing to do with you guys. We're just hitting an American base that you guys are hosting. It is sometimes as simple as that. Holy fucking shit.
It would be interesting.
Qatar is being like, holy shit, the consequences of my actions of hosting the imperialists in my country. And no, the Iranians destroyed a whole trash can. Holy shit. World War VII is about to start.
In the face of violation of its sovereignty. But let's remember that in 2020, when Iran hit American bases in Iraq, after...
No, he didn't even respond to the strikes. That would be so funny if he doesn't even respond. I mean, of course he will. But if he just goes like, their missiles too small for me to respond. I didn't even feel them. They didn't even go in.
Similar warning to the Qatari government, particularly in light of the fact that about an hour before the attacks, Qatari airspace was closed. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is not a fair amount of choreography and coordination involved between Iran, Qatar, and even between Iran and the United States.
I agree.
Indeed, we
I agree
from our
completely.
Correspondent that she believed that through back
I agree
channels,
completely.
US was also warned in advance of this strike. I suppose the big question now is less about how Qatar will respond and more about how the US will respond. What will be Trump's next move?
That's an excellent question. Again, in 2020, Trump held his fire when Iran attacked the U.S. bases in Iraq. The Iranians fully expected the United States to counterattack, and the U.S. did not. So we have to wait and see. Was this a one-off and we're done? Or is this the beginning of a vicious cycle of attacks and counterattacks between Iran, the United States, and then American bases across the region?
Okay, Mehran Kamran.
Unironically, that's the question, which I've been saying for the last hour and a half.
Personal and professional expertise.
What do you guys think? One and done, or this is going to start a whole circle jerk of indirect strikes?
Has released a statement following the attacks in Doha. It says it launched a powerful and devastating missile attack on the Al Udeid airbase in Qatar. This base, it says, serves as the command center of the U.S. Air Force and is the largest strategic asset of the American terrorist army in West Asia. Well, Iran's military spokesman has just issued a televised address following these strikes. Let's take a listen in.
The Islamic Revolutionary Guard, in a heroic mission, has struck the Al Udeid base in Qatar. This base is the largest terrorist base belonging to the United States in the region. This is a message for the White House. The Islamic Republic of Iran will not, under any circumstances, forget its nation's security and let threats against it go unanswered.
Joining us now from northern Doha is our correspondent.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, NB's is making it obvious. Yeah, that was for domestic consumption. That was for domestic consumption. Un hundo por segundo. Yep.
Wonderful. A new child soldier.
I mean, we all called it. There was hopes that, something else might happen. But hey, it is what it is. Life goes on. Thank you, Zanzibar, for the 15 months. Very kind of you, my friend. You've been here for a while now. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The missiles were intercepted over the skies of Doha. Most of the people around the city heard them. Many saw them. We've seen the footages that have been coming in, the mobile footages that show the minute the air defense systems were activated and intercepted the Iranian missiles over the Doha skies. Many people are still shocked. I think there's a sense that
oh my God, they're really
most
making
people
it
in this
about...
country never thought this kind of an event would happen. But having said that, there were signs and warnings prior to the launch of these Iranian missiles. First, the British embassy and the American embassy in Qatar issuing statements for their citizens to seek shelter and stay indoors. And then, of course, the Qatari government announcing the temporary closure of its airspace. And then, of course, we heard the missiles being intercepted. So stage by stage, people were getting prepared. But still, many people were shocked and surprised. I myself was out in one of the malls in
Ajde bre, mamu ti jebem u pičku, bre, govno jedno jebeno. Ti ima ovaj MacBook da si zabijem u dupe da ga iserem. O, koji kurac. Jedan obični copy-paste vam jebem mamu. Trump administration was anticipating retaliation from Iran, White House official says. The Trump administration was anticipating Tehran would retaliate after U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend, and the president does not want more military engagement in the region. The Trump administration was anticipating Tehran would retaliate after U.S. strikes on Iranian nuclear sites over the weekend, and the president does not want more military engagement in the region, a senior White House official told CNN. I mean, they lied about this before, but okay. So are we looking at another 2020 situation? We knew they would retaliate. They had a similar response after Soleimani. The official said initial assessments were that the missiles fired by the Iranians on Monday didn't hit their intended targets. Qatar's defense ministry said its air defense intercepted an Iranian missile attack on the U.S. airbase in their country. President Donald Trump is willing to escalate U.S. military involvement if necessary, the official said. Trump was due to talk to national security officials Monday afternoon, and it is possible his posture could change. Interessantno. Signs and warnings like attacking Iranian nuclear facilities. Absolutely, chat. I mean, we don't even have to mention it. This is like cliche at this point to bring up their hypocrisy. But yeah, basically the official here is keeping the door open when it comes to what Trump will decide to do. But it is very interesting. The manner in which they're phrasing it implies that they hope that it ends up turning out the way it did with the Soleimani assassination, right? I mean, that was an assassination that blew up a bunch of people, but you get my point. Because the way they're writing this statement implies that very thing. We knew they would retaliate. They had a similar response after Soleimani. And the president does not want more military engagement in the region. So yeah, maybe it's a one-off. Let's see. That's propaganda bullshit. He wants retaliation so he can go to war and force Congress to follow. Now that U.S. bases are being targeted, it's all his own making. Maybe that's why they're keeping the door open. They're keeping the door open to both. They're gonna smell the flowers and see if they stink or if they smell good. And by that I mean, they'll check the pulse of both Senate and American voting body and their opinion on whether the war should happen or not. Nothing ever happens after all. Whenever they said that they don't want to escalate, they escalated for many days until something else happens. Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize for ending a war with Iran after starting a war with Iran. It is what it is. It is what it is.
It was important for the Qataris to make a point about that this is a violation of our sovereignty, least or otherwise, they should not be carrying this kind of attack.
What is up, Dave? Thank you very much for the raid, Dave. Welcome in, Raiders, to YugopnikTwitch. Dave, I hope you had a lovely stream. Yugopnik chatters, I'm whipping out a gun. Imagine a gun. And the gun is literally placed on your forehead. And I am forcing you to go and follow Dave right now and check out Dave's work. Dave is a friend of the show. Thank you, Dave, for the motherfucking raid. Everybody, go click follow on Dave. Please, please, please. And thank you, Dave, once again. Dave viewers, welcome to chat. I hope you have a good time.
Wonderful. A new child soldier. Subscriber.
Thank you, little baby beef, for the 9 months we're having a child. I hope you take good care of it, because I ain't sending no fucking alimony. Unless I get a bunch of new subscribers. Then I am not going to still be sending any alimony, because I don't want no purple Twitch baby, okay?
That's what you have. So already now we had, since April 2024, we've had now responses back and forth, right? And this now could accelerate and could speed up the idea of retaliation and counter-retaliation. I'm sure that's what they're discussing now at the White House, is how we're going to respond. And eventually this could actually go out of, whack, as it were. It could start getting more and more countries involved. But even for Iran itself, moving forward, I mean, we've seen this movie before, right? I mean, look at the 4 other countries that such
that's what I find concerning, because the movie is too similar to the Soleimani movie. Like, there's no way 2 scripts can be this identical.
There's hundreds of thousands of deaths. We're talking about millions of casualties. Millions of casualties. Just the past 20 years, these 4 main wars where there were attempts at regime change, basically leading to failed states, civil wars of sorts, and so on and so forth. And that's just 4. And we know how it was always snowballing, right? It starts with something, it goes to something else. Who would have predicted that we're going to have ISIS?
Okay, now, I mean, this gentleman is not a talking head. This gentleman is absolutely brilliant, but at this point, all the news coverage is just talking head type shit. So our coverage of The Iranian response to American aggression through the destruction of a bunch of trash cans outside of American military space is officially concluded. Palate cleanser Wow Mao posted something unhinged. I have to watch it. It's called Welcome to Israel. What the hell, bro? What the fuck, bro? Jesus, dude.
She's so heavy, yeah, she give me iron dome. When I finish, I'ma tell her, hey, pack your shit and go home. My Israeli plug got kosher drugs, I'm texting him shalom. Cool, this be the promised land, cause when I rap, man, you know I own. If you step to us, we gonna take away your right to exist. I'm like the idea, the way I'm breaking up these bricks. And Yahoo, if you fuck with our crew, pull up with them nukes, man, we really gonna harm you.
From the river to the sea, I'm a baller, can't you see? Money flow like River Jordan, and it's all coming to me. Call me A-Pack, the way you watch me stack up my racks. Pockets heavy.
Oh, that was nasty.
Christians, Gentiles, hand in hand, we're a nation, oh so grand. Israeli soldiers, leave your mark. Israeli soldiers, like the dark Star of David.
My cook living in the UAE, no, you're good. Pretty safe there.
Disagree with me, you got the knife. I'm fucking love Israel. Yo, I cut my dealer off, cause his dad worked in the hay. What the hell am I gonna go to get blazed? Yo.
Everyone gonna feel it. Everyone gonna feel it. Everyone gonna feel it. Everyone gonna feel it.
I'ma fuck this bitch up. Netanyahu, Zelensky looks like Gatsu. Murkowski is a Hindu. Now blood pouring like fondue. Now stop killing us brown dudes. Calm stains and no sand dudes. Now what did Nav do? I robbed the plug like 50 times so I'd fund the FBI. Your eyes are blue, or am I blind? The Ayatollah will change your mind. Cause you stealing what you want, and stolen land is what you flaunt. Now tell your hogs you better get got, cause Palestine is not done. Everyone gonna feel it. Oh my God. Everyone gonna feel it. Everyone gonna feel it. Everyone gonna feel it.
Guys. Hella good? Yeah.
Jesus, they were fucking high out of their goddamn mind. Holy fucking shit. They were high as shit. This is AI, Geopolled. They aren't beating the 99% male audience allegations. This beat was promised to us 2,000 years ago. Wow Mao thinks the Holy Land is the Philippines. 0% nudity, 50% meat, 50% dairy, 0% meat and dairy together. Now that you mention it, Zelensky does actually look like guts. Missed the opportunity of using the famous Israeli techno. That would have been edgy. Now that would be edgelord shit. After seeing that video, I feel this video I just found from this conspiracy account is underwhelming. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop L-ing, you fucking internet, goddammit.
Moon landing was fucking bullshit because everyone's telling you I was fucking wrong. Showed me. Yeah, so fucking explain to me. Here you go. The guy's getting off the rocket ship. Who the fuck is filming him? Who's filming him? A guy? How'd the fucking guy get up there if this is the first guy that's supposed to be on the fucking moon? A different rocket ship? I don't know. So they sent the rocket shit up there. He got off and he's like, all right, come on up now. I'm ready to fucking film. Are you fucking serious? Rocket ship? He's supposed to be the first guy on the moon. It's bullshit. The car. How the fuck did the car fit in that rocket ship? Look, how did that car fit in the rocket ship? I don't know. Okay, right. More bullshit. Then the guy's floating around with a big fucking cord to his stomach and they're telling you that's his fucking, life support. What's the gift? Was it fucking fuel? Baby, they're bouncing around like a fucking jerk off. Yeah, watch. Let me show you. There it goes. Bye-bye. You know what? I'm going to stay behind. You guys go back to Earth. I'll fucking die up here. And how the fuck did he get the film back to Earth? Yeah, look, the fake fucking parachute. Hey, we're home now. What happened to the guy back on the moon? They just left him?
I guess so.
Yeah, everyone guesses they don't have any fucking facts. Bullshit.
That's not an Italian. No proud Italian will speak this godforsaken language. I feel like I touched some nerves there, you know? Oh. Come on, Donald Trump, post something, please.
Kind of curious if this guy is going to do a current version of this while this is happening. I'll be paying attention. I'll definitely be watching from a visual, camera / editing filters. And
I heard the song before. Oh, I think I've seen it. No, fuck you.
Yeah!
We just got married, we're on the road, visiting my husband's hometown. Look up at the vast sky and hear an awful sound. 4 Hellfire missiles in the sky. I watch my life flash before my eyes, but at least there's one huge plus. We know that the bomber was a gay woman, drone pilot, #girl boss. A gay woman, drone pilot,
#girl boss.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm here to get my kid from school. I pull up, don't see him at all. I stop the car to head inside when a black van cuts me off.
Gila Klein's favorite song.
Out of the van, next thing I know, I'm in an ice camp, and I won't see my son again. At least I wasn't deported by a man. Brown woman, ICE agent, #girl boss. A brown woman, ICE agent, #girl boss. I got laid off by a woman CEO. Oh yeah, it was #woke. Israel destroyed my olive farm to build a settlement. Thank God the IDF has gay soldiers in it. We'll continue bombing Yemen. It's fine, the Pentagon will be led by a black man. Don't you know the world's inherently violent? That's why we need more women drone pilots.
How shareholder value, this machine increases shareholder value, but it can't fit on the guitar. It's so good.
1983, multiple witnesses saw the crime that night. They all agreed the killers were white. The police had a different idea in mind. They found a black man to malign. They framed and sentenced him to death. His appeal rejected by Harris. Black South Asian prosecutor.
We are raiding Mike from PA. I repeat, we are raiding Mike from PA. I will see you tomorrow, chat. Same time, same place. I love you guys. My internet connection is too unstable for me to continue, so we are raiding Mike from PA. You know what to spam, you're not to spam. You know what to spam. It was a great stream. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully we're still alive by then. But if we're not, and a rocket falls on my head, I really hope it's a female drone pilot. Thank you, chat.